right, so hey, this is this is the producer, of course, and Anthony, live with Thought Bubble Podcast with us, and I'm actually just gonna run a quick audio test here.
Oh yeah, we can open with this.
Oh, you know what? Hang on, we will get into that. Let's hear it real quick. It sounds. Yeah, it sounds fine. I don't remember for now. So yeah, actually, just to keep you guys updated real quick, we have not been around for a while because hey, Sleepy, I've been dealing with.
So basically, what's been going on is I'm in the process of moving out of my parents' place right now, which is exciting. And so, you know. And
yeah. New chair.
Yeah.
I gotta pull it up.
So, because of that, I've been honestly spending more time at home, which is surprising because even at my mom's place, like, I'm excited that I'm leaving. I'm excited I can finally get away from this situation. But at the same time, I'm finding myself spending more time with her and my family because, I'm going to be on my own and I'm not going to want to show up all the time because I have my own place. But it's just part of growing up. But it's such a weird feeling because I've never officially moved out of someplace. I've never officially said, hey, I'm gone. I'll see you on holidays, whatever. But, it's a big change, and I've just been contemplating on what I have to do to plan to get all my shit over here and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's going to be moving in here. So, and then at the same time...
And so, at the same time, I've, planned out some gifts and everything, and I picked up this music cozy. It's a Bluetooth sleep mask. And so I found this on Amazon. It was originally going to...
Wait on that real quick. You're jumping way too far quick. No, I was going to say the main reason we haven't really been doing anything is because of the situation here with Doug.
Oh, yeah, with Doug.
Doug. We'll call him Doug. Yeah, but we have an interesting test that the producer here brought up to me that I guess was used in a TV show and possibly used in actual...
It's based off a real person.
A real
so I don't know if the
test
name. I don't know if the name is real
for psychopathy.
But they referenced a doctor and said he came up with this 20-question test that would test for psychopathy, and they actually used this in prisons to determine how dangerous an inmate may or may not be.
It's interesting.
So they can sort them where they need to go.
Fortunately, Doug is not dangerous.
Anyway,
but,
Anthony was curious about this Bluetooth sleep mask, which I never knew they even existed.
Yeah, so to give you a setup, he just goes. I always had my phone on silent, so I didn't really know he was already asleep or had whatever this contraption is on. But he said something about fucking Bluetooth and sound and shit like that, and I told him, all right, I'm very curious, so I called him, and I was like, why am I calling him? He said something about listening to Bluetooth, so he probably can't even hear his phone. And I was like, I'm very curious about this mask. And so I was like, all right, don't show it to me until the podcast. So I've not seen this yet because I've never even seen a sleep apnea mask.
No, it's not sleep apnea mask. So it's a sleep mask. So
okay.
So those...
it's thick? That's cool.
Yeah, so a band that you would put around your face for people who needed a sleep mask.
Yeah.
I've never needed to use one before. I never felt I have to cover my face up just so I can sleep. But anyway, this comes with Bluetooth speakers, and you just connect it to your phone or whatever device you have. And so I was thinking, well, if the sound is more spread out, because I have to sleep with my headphones. They'd fall out of my ears at night. You'd wake up, they're in the middle of the couch, or, they're out of your ears. You got to find them. But with this little sleep mask stays on your head, and it has two speakers that go over your ears.
Wait, and, who makes it? What is it? Music Cozy?
Music Cozy.
Music Cozy? Yeah, Music Cozy.
So,
that's cool. Wait, so the speakers actually go into the sleep mask?
Yeah. So you just put it on like you would.
Is this one of the speakers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. So you just put it on. It's like having VR with darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, since I was looking into the DMT music
darkness.
to, naturally stimulate DMT so I can kind of get that spiritual trip I'm looking for, because I want to experience that without taking the actual drug, of course, because that's more than what you naturally produce. But anyway, I've tried this music before, and it's helped me dream. It's really interesting, but I feel like I would get a deeper experience if there was, more of a surround sound effect. So I got these, and I played it last night, and oh my God, dude, I I slept like a fucking baby last night. And so it's either I sleep like a baby or there's one night where I have a really vivid dream. And so by smoking this new oil that I have, which is legal and does have certain properties that
Would you call it THO or
it's
something?
it's THCO
THCO
oil,
yeah.
or it's a part of the Delta 8 family. But this is like legal but a gray area. Anyway, I take
Legal but a gray area.
that's how it was described.
Yeah.
It's legal in Indiana. Anyone can get it, 21 or over, whatever. So I've been trying it, and by combining it with the DMT music, I've been able to have very vivid dreams. I'm going to continue on this to see if I can have an actual spiritual trip, but that's going to come later, and it's going to come with, finding the right sound that you use, because it's all based on sound harmonics in the YouTube video that they use to put you in that state of mind, I guess.
So that's really interesting. Now, I want to actually bring this podcast back to its title.
Yeah.
Which is Thought Bubble Podcast with Us. And really, when it began, I think we kind of forgot, or I forgot what I started. It really just began as I have thoughts throughout the day. I'm now writing them down and typing them down. But I've come to a decision, and I hope you agreed with me. This will be interesting and fun. That throughout the week, just, this usually happens while I'm working, because I got my desktop set up right here. Excuse you. So I have a series of notes or thoughts that I wrote down. I have not reread them since I have written them. So I figured this is going to be interesting. What if me and the producer go through these thoughts? I don't have a lot right now. I guess there's a few, but in the future, he could do the same thing, and we just go over and we both try to figure out what the hell we're talking about, and if we agree or disagree. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, that's really going to be a part of the podcast from now on, and I do have that prepared. But
so I just
go ahead and.
With that, that's just, and I'm trying to make it to where I can use it as a form of guidance with what I'm trying to accomplish here. Just being able to, I wouldn't say see the future, but just be more in tune with what's going on, my perspective. But back to Doug, thing is, I was friends with Doug since 5th grade. So
I'll get that test pulled up.
little under 20 years, I would say. I'm almost 25 now, but the majority of my life I've been friends with Doug, and we've had our ups and downs and everything, but we've been best friends our entire life.
Or so you thought.
And so I thought, and so I didn't really notice this kind of offset behavior or lonely behavior until he got a little bit older, until he was done with high school and he was living on his own, but he was still living with his parents. This guy had no job. He didn't do anything at his parents' house. He just sat there and basically would watch TV all day. And then you would have to, text him repeatedly or just talk to him and try to have a normal conversation with him just to say, hey, I want to hang out with you. Because every time you'd ask him, he'd have an excuse. And so then finally when you'd go hang out with him, he'd be like, oh, sorry, I'm just tired today. I'm like, what did you do? What did I do today? I had a job. I was, worked in customer service. I was going through college. And then he even told us, he was like, I didn't like the fact that you were complaining about college. And I'm like, you're not...
Oh, no, it's the same thing when Doug would complain to me about me being... Oh, he said I was bragging about my job. I'm like, no, dude, I am proud of my success.
Right.
That's just being happy for being,
right.
He's there's a part of him...
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
He doesn't like that other people are succeeding because
doing better than he is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing that I wanted to point out about Doug. Oh crap! What was I just gonna say? Because you just hit a really good point.
Well, I was saying.
Yeah, keep going.
I was saying, he doesn't. It takes a lot for him to reach out to you. And so.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Okay. You were talking about him being lethargic all the time, tired all the time. Dude, he would nap all the time, lay down, fall asleep on his phone all the time.
Now he doesn't.
But I know why. But I know why. Well, no, it's not just. It's his health, 100%. But it's his health, because the sleeping, like I could hear through the wall easily, and it was horrible snoring. Snoring really, that's not good.
No,
it means that you're.
Okay, so to give you an example, I don't know if my mom was snoring, but she's big enough to where she has sleep apnea,
Mm-hmm.
or she did actually. I think she's done with the mask now, but I remember she had to have that mask and everything, and I was just like, really, Mom, you couldn't just.
I can't remember how it's described, but when you snore, it's because
You basically
you're
stop
putting-
breathing at night.
it's
Or no,
not,
well,
it's
no,
not
not
that
that.
you're not.
Your airway is restricted a little bit.
It's
That's
more than
what's-
that. It was. I can't remember how.
Because if you sleep on
Um,
your back and you're heavier, all that weight on your stomach is weighing you down.
Well, yeah, no, that's absolutely a part of it. But there was a specific thing that the damage that it was causing.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what
okay.
I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
Like it's putting. I can't remember, but no, it's really the point is it's bad for your body, and so you can sit there. A lot of people, growing
You're-
up, they're like, "Oh, you so what? I snore."
You're oxygen deprived.
Well,
in a small
that
sense,
could be a
yeah.
part of it, sure, but
Yeah.
But anyway, beside the point, Doug is very unhealthy.
Right.
And no, but so we're going to the point of so then the producer here sends me this test. I've never seen it before, and I didn't even ask him what he put.
Oh yeah, so that was actually recently. I ended up pushing off an episode of Criminal Minds with the new season, and the entire show is them basically just identifying psychopaths and then catching them, whatever. It's a crime show, and so they brought up this test about a psychopath from this doctor, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's real. And so I typed in the name and searched for it, and it's this 20-question like survey almost with different
22, but yeah,
okay,
yeah.
22 questions with like somewhat of a survey, and you kind of judge each feeling or each.
Robert Hare. It's from the 1970s by
Yep.
the Canadian psychologist Robert Hare.
Okay, yep, yeah, they mentioned
Yeah.
that in the show. But you basically search Robert Hare like psychopath test or something like that. It pops right up. It's 22 questions, and it looks like you would if you were to take it yourself, in a sense, you would just judge your own degree of, whatever.
So I went and I just went through and I was like, okay, let's pick everything about Doug. And I was actually pretty fair about it. And so the first question is glibness / superficial charm. Now, I think I said definitely present. What would you put?
Well, what are the choices?
Oh, sorry. Definitely present, possibly present, definitely absent.
Definitely present.
I say definitely present. It's all fake. It's all
Yeah.
fake. And the word charm is specific to like charisma, but
that would
his
make
entire
sense. That would make sense because whenever we'd confront him about things, he would
have no
he
idea.
would pretend that he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I remember asking him. I said, "Look, we've got everything out in the open."
I have
You-
notes, dude. I have
know.
actual notes from the
So-
words of Doug's
Well,
mouth.
hold on. So the previous conversation we had before he had that lecture.
Mhm.
When I found out there was something he didn't like about me, so I confronted
It
him
was you.
about
You
it.
just didn't like.
Yeah.
He for no
And-
reason at all.
But the first conversation, he agreed that everything was out in the open and everything was covered. And I was like, okay, so we're good, right? And he goes, yeah, no, we're good. And then when we had that second conversation, that's when the truth finally came out.
Mm.
But that's the thing. He was so charming and so, he faked understanding
Yeah.
that he
So-
completely avoided the issue. entirely.
Exactly. And so on that note, actually, before we get into more of these questions, Sleepy, I hope you're hearing this. These are actual. This is like the what's the word? What did Hitler write before? What was it called? The book?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Mein Kampf.
No, but what's it called? It's called a.
Like a memoir? No. Manifesto.
Manifesto. There we go. So this is the manifesto of a psychopath. I asked if Doug could simply write down very small goals on a piece of paper, just one a day that he thinks he could do each day. And if he did it, I said, I don't care if I see it, it's not for me, this is for you. I said, if you do this on a certain day, put a check mark next to it. Be proud of what you did. But make sure you do it again tomorrow. And then that next day, add a small task again. And that way slowly, and if some days you don't have anything to add, that's fine. Just try as hard as you can
Right.
to work on the task. Now, here's what he did all in one sitting. He did not listen to a goddamn thing I said.
He just wrote.
He
words on
just
paper.
wrote what he thought, and the ending is my favorite part. He wrote what he thought was supposed to be written down just in case I read it. Now you know I'm gonna read this, but here's what we got, all in one sitting. Be more creative. There's already a check mark. Walk more, check mark. Eat less, check mark. None of these are true. Be more attentive. Check mark. How is he? No, that's okay. We'll just keep going. Be more present. He's done none of these. Keep working. He's gotten fired from one job. He failed seven job interviews in 1 week.
Wait, so he had 7 job interviews?
Or maybe
in
in over 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
maybe
no,
over
it was
2
2 weeks. It was 7 job interviews.
7
over
job
2 weeks.
interviews, essentially back to back.
Now, if I had 7 job interviews, I'd be like, I would tell them I have other interviews. I'll get back to you. And then, I would be like, hey, I got 7 interviews under my belt. I have some place to pick. That'd be amazing. But
exactly. So that's what I'm trying to speed through this because we can sit now. Work on a new story and or draw something. How is that productive in a life where you don't even have a job? You can't even function on your own.
I could see him. Okay, he could use it as a way.
He can't draw. He can't even write. Look at this handwriting.
I could say the drawing thing and the whole writing thing could be a way for him to do something that's fun, but kind of push him in.
Well, sure, to do something creative.
Because I feel
on
like
his free time.
If you're used to not doing anything, it's best to do something creative in your free time, so you get used to.
Which is all he has, by the way.
Right, but so you get used to doing something, and then you apply that to not your free time, because then you're like, oh hey, I just had fun doing something.
And instead, what does he do? He immediately goes out to the bar.
Right.
Instead of doing something.
And the thing is, I bet you he still doesn't have a job. Why would he need a job right now? He lives at his parents'.
Exactly. All right. So network on local productions. Still doesn't do it. Yeah. Film something. Take nature photos. Then he literally writes in all caps, bold. What else? Question mark! Exclamation! Underline! Underline! Underline. He wrote the thought. What else? Let's see. Learn to explain yourself. Be better. Be better. More. Be better. Be a better communicator. Let's see. Yeah, he can't even write. Learn to explain yourself more clearly and be more concise. Be better. Be a better. Okay, fuck that shit.
Yeah, be a better.
Yeah, Jesus.
He's not very concise.
All right. We're getting to the end, which is my favorite. Which he literally writes on paper that he is a psychopath. It's my favorite. It's his self. Like.
Self manifesto.
No, it's like he's churning himself. I don't know how to I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, write a story inspired by Don't Look Now. What's Don't Look Now again?
I think it's some TV. I don't even know what the fuck it is. I don't.
Okay, yeah. Move with purpose. What the fuck does this mean? Move with purpose.
Wait, I'm trying to even read.
Yeah, right? Move with purpose. Be more purposeful. Dude, you have no purpose. So good luck. And then he writes another thought. He writes, go ahead, read it.
Ideas.
Comma,
ideas.
Comma,
ideas.
Underline.
And then it's underlined, and then it says work on your writing. Be more mindful.
Now wait, this is my favorite part. Now ready? This is him telling us that he's psychotic. Figure out how to communicate in a more neurotypical. Yes, Y's don't make any sense. Figure out how to communicate in a more neurotypical manner. Parentheses. Sublimate yourself to it. That is literally saying, trick your brain into making others believe that you are normal. Holy shit. Holy shit. Now, let's read the next question. Previous diagnosis as a psychopath. I put no.
No, yeah.
Right. He never got the help he needed from the beginning, so it's too late for him. Even, like, I was watching some Dr. Drew said, they were talking about psychopathy, and they were saying, like, a joke, like, couldn't they just go and do this and that? And he's like, oh, no. They need to pretend. At this point, they need to be taught how to pretend.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible to think that. Now, egocentricity, grandiose sense of self-worth. I say yes. I don't know how strong, though.
Well, okay, so...
remember when he said, I don't need my parents.
Remind me what grandiose...
Grandiose, like you know what? Let's look it up.
Yeah. Because I know what you're talking about, but...
Yeah. I think it means like a higher sense of, like, yourself. Hang on, here we go.
He has a false sense
of self-worth.
Okay.
Impressive and imposing in appearance or style, especially pretentiously so. Okay, so he's not grandiose. He dresses like a hobo.
Yeah.
all
yeah.
the time. So he doesn't have the grandiose, but the part that says egocentric self and so the egocentric self-worth part where he said, like, in that fit of rage, I don't need my parents, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then when I keep telling him that he's done absolutely nothing as a friend or even really,
Well, he's done.
he goes, well, what about those times I helped you with the money? And I was like, yeah, how about the fact that you've lived here with a discounted rent for the last year and a half?
Yeah, he's paying. Yeah.
He was paying baby numbers for, almost half of what he should be paying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so so I'm gonna go with definitely present. Proneness to boredom, low frustration tolerance.
Yeah, I feel because we would hang out with him and play cards.
Yeah, he's always
and
just like. Mm.
No, everyone in the group, no matter who was there, we would all have fun. And then we invite Zach, and he'd just sit.
And remember, I'd always call him out. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, stop doing that. Just if you want to go, walk away right now. But I'm not going to sit here and deal with this. And every
Right.
single time I said that,
He got
up and walked away.
Right.
And it's like, okay, fine. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. But okay, yeah, that works. Pathological. This is my favorite. Pathological lying and deception. What do you think, Mr. Producer?
Well, based on the conversation we had with him, clarifying everything officially.
I hope he watches the podcast, Andrew.
Dude, honestly, yeah. Doug, if you're watching this right now,
Yeah, Doug.
I did consider you a best friend, and I felt
Ew,
like,
just ew.
and I felt like my heart was ripped from my chest, stepped on,
yeah.
with complete.
Dude, you were crying. You had to walk out of the house.
With complete disrespect, and dude, if I wasn't the way I am, I probably would have punched you in the face. I'm just going to be honest. If I'm not the way I am currently, if I was a different person, I would have walked up to you straight away and just clocked you in the mouth. Without a single word, I would have just punched you in the face.
Yeah.
And then probably just walked off.
But you know what? It's over, you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, no damage to us or to him physically needed
Right.
to be done. We stayed away from the law. All right, so pathological lying and deception, more than 100%. If there was anything more than 100%, he nailed it. Conning and lack of sincerity. What do you think?
Yeah.
See, the problem with him is he attempts to con, but he's an idiot. So Doug isn't able to.
He's a stupid con man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the answer is yes, it's present. And lack of sincerity. There you go. Both, yes. Lack of remorse or guilt. You remember when I called him out? Yeah. Would you agree? Yes, lack of remorse or guilt. Dude, okay, perfect example. When he was leaving my house, he wouldn't even leave my house. His dad left. I said goodbye to him.
He took a shower.
No,
He doesn't even own the place anymore, or even have.
Yeah. And so,
permission.
no, beside that, no.
Yeah.
What's even more interesting is, me and his dad had a good talk, and I said goodbye to him. I said, thank you for being such a wonderful man. I said, good luck. And then Zach stood in my house staring at me, and I didn't even look at him. I just face looked down, and I did that arm wave, motion like, all right, like wave toward the door, like there's the exit. I didn't say anything. I just was like waving. And he goes, well, it's been an interesting journey. And then at that point I said, get out of my house. And then he walks out, stops, turns around. I don't know what he was starting to say. Mm-hmm. He was like, ah, and I just slammed the door and locked it. And I was just like, what the fuck? See, so he had so lack of remorse or guilt. He has no idea what damage he has done to so many people in so many different ways.
So he even got his boyfriend to break up with him.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I'm not going to go into detail about that, but basically, I brought up some things that I've noticed how he treated me. He noticed some things about how, he treated him. And so it was basically just, he was done with it. And it made sense because we were both saying the same thing. It was just different because, one is a relationship and one is a friendship. But, with Doug, it was just like, it made so much sense. He's using everybody. He's using his boyfriend. He's using his friends. And he only sees you as someone who gets some type of personal gain from you. Whether it's, using his boyfriend for just sex, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just as an example. But
And remember when I called him out saying
Yeah.
he's just using
Right.
him, and he didn't even deny it.
and apparently I found out that every time he hung out with this person, who he's supposed to love, by the way, didn't even pay him gas money to take him places. He would never offer it. And then I think the majority of the time, his boyfriend was paying for everything, and he wouldn't even consider, helping him out because his boyfriend lives on his own, and Zach's paying or Doug.
Yeah.
paying
Everyone knows. It's just
yeah.
fun to call him Doug. No, the reason we call him Doug is Doug's ex-boyfriend thought he looked like a Doug, and it's perfect. He
Yeah.
totally looks
So-
like a sluggish Doug. We could call him sluggish
You know,
Doug.
he's got such a big savings that even though he wasn't paying rent and he wasn't doing these things,
Yeah,
he has
right.
money to go out.
And he had.
And it's like, if you're dating someone, why would you just like sit there and just not even offer to help? And especially when your ex-boyfriend your ex-boyfriend now
Yeah.
pays more money than you just to live, just
Yeah.
to live in an apartment, and
Yeah.
loves you and wants to spend time with you, but then you would just go eat someplace and that's it. You wouldn't even spend time with someone. It's like, wouldn't that hurt you?
Man, look. All we know is he needs ideas. Okay.
Right. But
Alright.
it's more than that.
No, I'm fucking around. Look,
Well,
you can see the problem is we can rage about this, but we're just gonna get trapped in a
Right.
black hole that we don't need to go back to.
Yeah. That's
So let's just keep looking through this because this is really interesting. It says it's been updated. This is actually the updated version. I was just reading a little bit about it. They had to remove 2 questions because they were the statistical analysis shows the questions to be unhelpful. But I wish I knew what those questions were. I wonder if they had to do with like gender or something. You know what I mean? Something that's no longer relevant these days that were in the 70s. So lack of affect and emotional depth. What do you think?
You said what?
Lack
of
affect,
effect.
affection, affect,
Okay, affection. Yeah.
and emotional depth.
Yeah, because we met. Oh, yeah, cause,
Shallow.
Yeah,
She's
because
shallow.
that was in his boyfriend's breakup letter.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we touched on that. For sure.
Sluggy Dougie, I love it, dude. Sluggy Dougie. Yep. Dude, he looks like a big slug. If you think about it, and
Yeah.
sadly we've seen him naked, he looks like a big slug with no genitalia.
I don't see how people want to fuck him. Like it's.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's why he predarized. What's the right word? He preyed on someone so much younger than him who was brand new to being homosexual or coming out as homosexual.
Yeah.
He preyed on that poor boy.
Actually, it was Doug's idea for the open relationship.
Duh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said that. I said that
Right.
before I even knew it. I was like, I bet you that was his idea, and I was right.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. He figures. Well, now I can have sex with him and maybe more.
And
But,
he.
yeah.
Oh.
Dude, he's lost everything he had, and it's good because none of us.
All in what? Like
Need it.
a week?
Oh yeah, dude, it was over. Let's see. So Friday, he just disappeared. Didn't pay rent on Saturday.
It's been at
Sunday,
least 2
Monday,
weeks.
my mom was reaching out to him to get rent. He lied, said he'd pay, then he didn't. Yada yada. Yeah, dude, it was over within a week, and then it took him till this Wednesday to get the fuck out. Sluggy Dougie, yeah. All right, so lack of affect and emotional depth, definitely present. Callous and lack of empathy. He has no empathy.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's the
because
core of the problem.
Because honestly, even when he cries, like I hate to think of him.
Remember when I
this
kept
way.
saying?
No, here.
Oh,
just,
sorry.
I hate to think of him in this way because like I said, I've been friends with him for a very long time, and so when he was crying, I felt like he was probably hurt. But knowing how he acts, I can't believe him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I have to sit there and tell myself he's lying. Don't fall for it, and then it's like you can't tell him anything. You can't take his words to truth.
Yeah.
You have to see action, and it's just like action is not something that he does.
So on the same note,
Yeah.
when it comes to the crying specifically.
Okay, so when it
Oh,
comes,
right.
yeah,
No,
when
no,
it-
okay.
you're right.
I was
Thank you. So when it
No, I
comes,
was gonna come off of that too.
so when it comes to the crying, it's just like it's fake. That's what I have to treat it as. It's a way to give you a response that you're looking for. It's a trained response because he might feel frozen up, and so in order to maybe
By time.
he breaks down.
So here, really, this is because
Mm-hmm.
you're right on the subject. when he did this, and we were having that. How long was it? 6-hour conversation.
Yeah,
I think it was 6 hours.
It was 8 p.m. because I think you just.
And then
got
it
off
was
work.
1 something, right?
It was like 1, and then we stayed up a little bit.
And then you and I, yeah.
So we didn't go to bed till 4.
And then we still had to keep having him come out.
Yeah.
So
actually,
it was
we all
probably
didn't go.
about 8 hours.
No, it was 4:20 a.m. I remember.
Oh my
It was
God.
exactly 4:20 a.m. when we went to bed.
I'm sure you had a joke in your head, but it wasn't
Yeah.
funny at the moment.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, nothing was funny at that moment.
Right.
Okay, so about the crying though, do you remember every single time you started to try crying, I just said, no, stop crying. And he could stop just like that, because
Yeah.
it was fake.
Yeah.
And every time I'd call him out on his bullshit, because he responds to fear.
He tried.
And I scared the hell out of him.
He tried.
Good.
Okay, so that morning when he like approached me and hugged me,
Ugh.
when I was
And I
like,
told him not to touch
so
you.
here's the thing: if I was more awake, I would have pushed him. But I just woke up. I just got up. You know, me still being diabetic, I have to get up and eat something right away. Some nights, but anyway, it was one of those mornings where mornings, whatever. So anyway, it was one of those mornings where I had to eat something. So I'm making a burger I had over here that I saved, and luckily I had it in the microwave. I had a glass bowl because that was the only thing I could find. He just stands up in front of me, almost scares me. I jumped. I almost dropped the fucking glass bowl.
He just appears.
He just appeared. But luckily my hand was in the microwave, so I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
and saved it. But I would have been like, dude, you made me fucking break
Yeah.
Anthony's bowl. What the fuck? And then he'd just stand there and not help you.
Yeah.
But, so he scared me, and so I was like, okay, it's him, I know that, I'm just still keeping my distance. And
Yep.
so he's like, hey.
We both slept
he
armed
goes-
that
yeah,
night.
He goes, hey, can I talk to you? I'm like, look, if you want to talk to me, that's fine, just, I'm trying to eat right now, so if I'm not paying attention, that's why. And so he says a little bit something else, and then he just reaches out and hugs me. And of course, I'm frozen up, I can't do anything right now.
Yeah, right?
I still can't think.
Essentially, it's like assaulting you. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the next
what
morning.
the fuck?
It's the next morning, and I can't even think because I wasted all my energy with him. I have nothing left. I'm just planning on eating something and like trying to wake up. So he's hugging me, and eventually I was like, dude, just don't look. I get it. You're trying to tell me that you're hurt, but you don't know how I'm feeling. I was just like, look. Just leave me alone, okay? If we want to text later, that's fine for right now, but just leave me alone. Like I had to be straight with him. I was like, I need my space. Just back off.
no, and it's amazing how, I mean, no matter, he keeps asking like, well, what can I do different, or what am I doing wrong?
And we've told him.
No,
it's not
just
like okay. It's not like
it's the fact that he's not
It's-
doing
okay.
anything.
hold on. It's not like we just noticed this.
Yeah, right.
Right.
We've been doing
It's-
this, telling the same stories. We just now know what it is.
Right.
I've never experienced psychopathy
here's
before.
the thing. He is on the spectrum.
That too.
And
We thought
so-
it was just autism.
Well, because some of the things he struggles with, I do just to a different degree. Mine's not as bad, but it does affect me in some way. But I noticed a lot of what I was going through when I was younger, he's going through right now. That's why I was prone to giving him more advice, but he would never listen. Because I'd give him examples. I'd be like, I felt exactly how you feel right now. This is when. This is what you should do. This is what I learned from it. And he'd just sit there and be like, okay, and then wouldn't even do it.
Oh, by the way, just real quick, Andrew Rogers, my friend, I've been able to compress a quote-unquote diagnosis of what I could on what I think of you. I think you kill it in the professional world. I think you are a little immature. I think you might have a little ADHD. And that's about it. You're fucking normal aside from that. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Kind of
So,
close to me, actually,
how-
but not with ADHD.
how
You're
come-
much better off than I am.
How complete are we with this test?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. No, I mean, it's just interesting
Yeah.
because they each bring up or provoke or...
Well, hey, at least we
a
have
story,
no,
you know
at
what
least
I
we
mean?
have examples. So that's
exactly,
really
that's
the
what I'm
point.
saying. Yeah.
All right, go on.
Shit, I wrote something down. Oh, the crying. I already took care of that. So, a parasitic lifestyle.
Yeah.
Dude, all he did, he used
Because,
me,
okay,
he used my mom, he used
every example was
his boyfriend.
with his boy.
Ex.
Even if he were to hang out with his current ex-boyfriend like they did, they would like just go eat, and then he would be forced to drive him back. Not even that, he would have to drive Doug everywhere, and he wouldn't even offer him gas money.
Sluggy Dougie.
Like, yes, Okay, hold on. So
Go ahead.
his boyfriend I'm friends with, and we're
X.
his ex boyfriend I'm friends with, and we're like best friends. And he's, he tells me time and time again, he's like, look, you compared to Zach, he's like, I know a lot more about you than I do about my boyfriend because we actually talk. We actually want to know more about
I
each
wonder
other.
what that was like
Because
hanging out with him
yeah,
alone.
because with Zach you wouldn't get that that mutual interest. It was just like you would just sit there and do nothing. Whenever we'd hang out, we'd sit there and do nothing and watch a show he wanted to
So
watch.
weird.
But my point is, he uses people, and it's like if you use someone who you're supposed to love, that's not love.
No,
Like
it never was
let's
love.
right. Let's be honest. It was not.
It was just
And
it's
I-
just that simple.
And I do feel bad for his boyfriend because I can tell he is hurt, and I do feel
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
that this happened, and it's just like I don't want to deal with that type of drama, but we've dealt it in a way to where, if we joke about it from time to time, we both laugh, but at the same time we don't talk about it as deeply because we know we both need to get away from him, and it's work,
Yeah.
and it's just.
Yeah. So we're gonna say
Yeah,
yes with
yeah.
the parasitic lifestyle.
My point is,
definitely.
it hurts me that he's hurting.
Yeah, and even
he's
me,
one of
I
my
barely
friends
even
now.
know this
Yeah.
guy that well.
Mm.
I'm getting to know him, and I'm glad, but
Like
it
is,
sucks to know that it's like because this guy.
He's-
You know what? What do we
okay.
call it? We're gonna just say
Okay,
F. F really
to give
cared.
to give you an example, F is such a good person.
Hmm.
Okay, like sometimes I feel bad when I'm like, oh,
Remember, he brought me food for
yeah,
no reason
so
and
he,
shit.
For him, for I guess our relationship, when we hang out, he drives me, and like, I don't offer him gas money all the time, but there's been times where he was struggling, he still wanted to hang out. I offered it to him, and then the next day he tells me, he goes, yeah, Doug never did that for me. Doug doesn't care.
No, because
But it's just surprising how he's so nice and so generous. It's like, why didn't Doug pay him back?
Well, he's a caring person. And,
Right,
and
yeah, he's-
Doug doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
But anyway, so definitely parasitic lifestyle.
Right, yeah.
So short-tempered and poor behavior, poor behavioral controls.
Yeah.
That one's interesting because I want to
'Cause
say yes, but
You could just be generally talking to him about it, not even raising your voice, just generally having
and he
an
snaps.
adult conversation.
And he snaps.
And he snaps.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's more like a manic thing, but yeah, when he can't, like, he just has those outbursts.
Well, for people on the spectrum, our emotions are stronger.
Well, no, it's manic
But
because
right.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is they're generally stronger.
Sure. Oh,
Especially
yes.
when-
Because it came out as rage. Do you notice that came out as pure
Well,
rage?
when I was younger,
he wasn't angry. He wasn't.
When I was younger, I used
sad.
to act like that. I used to just be
When
angry.
my brother was young, he
I
used
was-
to do that.
Even
He used to have fits, and
if-
he used to
no.
bite CDs
No, okay,
and
not
punch us.
It wasn't fits. It was more of
Oh,
like
he was-
it was more like, for example, if I was talking to my mom, I didn't like her very much when I was younger. So like if she talked to me about anything, I'd be pissed off all the time. I just, but that wasn't the right way to approach things. I'm saying with him, he doesn't,
He doesn't have
he
a
doesn't.
general.
He hasn't developed his own filter because I've noticed
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
I was born with basically.
Remember
what-
this?
Okay, but basically what autism is
Yeah.
you're born without a certain filter, and that's why you have those struggles with socializing and trying to.
That's how they described it to you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, this makes sense with my personal research
Oh,
and
okay.
what I was told.
Okay.
And so, since you're born without this certain filter,
Mm-hmm.
you do things that you don't mean to do that might come off as rude, or like you might
Okay,
seem
yeah,
like
yeah.
you might seem like you're threatening, even though you're not.
Missing social cues.
You're right.
Yeah,
Missing
yeah.
social. You can't communicate, but you have to learn how to do that. It's just something that you have to know how to do.
Yeah.
It sucks that you don't naturally know how to do it, and it comes easy
But you
to
work
you.
with it.
You work with it. Sometimes, if I'm really angry, I'll just forget about it, and then I have to stop and think and be like, wait, this is not you. This is this is you. Being who you were when you were younger, you need to calm down. And so, I do bounce in between that every now and again, but it's like when you notice what your triggers, then you can kind of be like, hey, I'm good. You can manage it. He doesn't have that developmental system yet, and so because of that, he'll get angry at you for anything.
Did you go to therapy at all, or when you were growing up, or
When I was younger, during my parents' divorce, that was because I was okay. So
I just wonder if it helped because he
okay,
never.
so
I don't know if
here's
he
the thing.
got the help
here's,
he needed.
Here's the thing. What happened was my mom wanted me to go to therapy because I got busted in high school because I was apparently taking muscle relaxers and sleeping pills to dull my pain from the fact that my parents were getting divorced.
Bad boy.
And so, after all that happened, she was like, "All right, you're gonna go to therapy." And now, here's the thing: I graduated on time. I wasn't like pushed off a year or anything like that. I even had enough months off in school to where I could just work during my summer. I was like, fine, that's a fair trade. Because my parents gave me the last 2 months. They said, look, you're going to be working in the summer. You might as well enjoy your last 2 months. Not too much, obviously. But they're like, you're going to be working in the summer. And I said, I agree. So I had a job, or a small job, and then from time to time, and then, I would do my schoolwork. But anyway, I had to earn my trust back a lot. It was hard. But after all that happened, okay, so hold on, what was I going with? I lost track.
Dun dun dun. You did some bad pills, dog.
Oh yeah, no, it was nothing bad like that. It was just simply the person who I was getting these things from, these pills, was my best friend in high school, and really he was just selling me drugs.
Yeah.
It was nothing hardcore. It was just like
They weren't like yeah.
Yeah, but still, just that habit you could get into, and so so because I suffered through that. Okay, what was the?
Well, we were talking about.
Got off track.
Yeah, some about. Oh, therapy.
Therapy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
keep in mind the goal. My question
Yeah.
is to know. Do you think it helped with your? Because you're basically pretty on spot with your social cues, except you get in tangents about weed and diabetes, and now sadly Zach is going to be stuck in our head for a. Sorry, Sluggy Dougie is going to be stuck in our head for a while.
So the therapy helped me. Well, after I went through all of that, I was hurt because I upset my family. I made that mistake, and also technically I did put my siblings at risk because they were younger at the time.
Yeah, speak up.
If they were to go into my room and find it, but luckily I thought I had it pretty safe because it was hard to find. But anyway, it was still that guilt, and so when I went into therapy, it helped me with that. But after I was done with that, I really didn't want to be there because she wasn't really helping me in the way I thought. And then she started to analyze me more and go into like do almost an experiment with you, but you could kind of tell just by talking to her, so that it just made me feel uncomfortable. So I had to end it. But I think I'm old enough where I can work through my own shit. I have a good connection system. I have a lot of friends who are close to me. I don't have a lot per se, but I do have close friends who I'm in touch with all the time, and other friends who I'm still close with, but we contact, time to time. But I do have a network, so that's good. I never had that when I was younger, especially in high school, because my autism was kind of at its peak during that time. But did therapy help me? Yeah, for that one moment. Long term, no. So it's kind of a mixed experience.
Okay, so no, I'm just curious how, because I don't know if he got.
Because here's the thing, everything I've learned and I've used,
Excuse me.
I've had to learn for myself. No one helped me.
Okay. No, that answers my question. So the difference between you and him is, well, A, you're not a psychopath, so you actually give a shit, and B, well, no, that's really it. You give a shit, so you actually put the effort in to move forward. Yeah. Whereas now we should probably stay on track here because we do have a bit to go. But let's see. Oh, wrong window.
We should just blow through the next questions just with yes or no.
Well, let's see here. Unless it's significant, right?
Unless it's profound. Profound.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and here, we don't even need to tell an example. Okay. Sorry for getting excited there. Promiscuous sexual relations.
Yep. Yep. He wants to have an open relationship.
There you go. We've already discussed that. Exactly. And I called all of this shit, dude. I just never knew anything about psychopathy. Okay.
Excuse me.
Early behavior problems. Well, tell me what he was like. Okay, never mind. The answer.
Well,
go ahead.
Actually, quick example. We were younger, and he would have these fits at recess over nothing and act all crazy and be like,
Wait, what?
Yeah, he would, or if someone would talk to him and he didn't quite.
Physically, that is what he did.
Yeah.
Waving his arms around like that.
Sometimes, yeah, and then if
Why?
if he was talking to someone who he didn't like, he would just suddenly freak out and be like, and then you just leave him alone.
Wait, what the fuck?
Okay. I'm glad he grew out of that, but it's
whoa.
What?
I mean, because I just thought the whole raising his middle finger in a fit of rage, like the look on his face,
that's probably his mature way of how he does it. But that's
exactly
still not
right,
mature. That's
exactly, just like that.
that's just
he
his-
huffed and puffed, turned red in an instant, and just was like,
That's
like he had the constipation look, you know.
that's his version of
Yeah.
expressing that.
That was insane. And I just walked up to him and I said, "Are you sure you don't want to?" Remember, I said, "Are you sure you don't want to take that back?" And he goes, "I do." It's like, dude, do not. You are already dug. You've dug your grave. Do you really want me
Doug,
to like?
you dug. Your
Yeah,
grave.
Doug. Sluggy Doug dug his own.
Oh gosh, that's on his tombstone. We have to give the eulogy because we're all he knows.
Yeah, dude, really? I mean, seriously, what else does he have now? Honestly, sadly.
All we say is he's Sluggy Dougie.
Sluggy Dougie.
Oh, we're good old Sluggy Dougie. You know, I was friends with him. He was a good guy, but I'm sad he's gone. That's all I'd have to say, really.
Wait. Sluggy Dougie had a great fall. He dug a hole, fell in, and we filled up it all. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
Because he dug his own grave. You know,
He fell in a
Sluggy
hole.
Dougie dug his own grave. Sluggy Dougie.
Yeah, Sluggy Dougie dug his own grave.
What rhymes with grave?
Oh wait.
We're not.
Okay,
The
hold
word
on.
brave won't
Hold
even
on,
fit
hold
in
on.
there.
How about this? Sluggy Dougie dug his own grave because he ain't brave. I don't know.
Nah, wait.
No.
Sluggy Dougie. Took the shovel. Dug the hole.
No. Sluggy Dougie took the shovel, popped his bubble. Now he's dead. Oh God.
no.
No, that's bad. No.
Took the shovel.
Took the shovel, bopped his head. Now he's acting 10. I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
fuck it. Who cares?
Okay.
Something. I don't know. All right, so let's see what's next here.
That was a bad comment earlier.
Yeah,
whatever.
we had something going there.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hey, what's up? All right, so the next one would be, so early behavioral problems, definitely. Lack of realistic long-term plans. Dude,
Yeah.
he still thinks he has a shot at Hollywood.
That's a
and-
definite yes. You don't even have to explain
Thank you.
it. It's
Okay.
just
Yeah.
yes.
He doesn't even understand like short-term plans. He can't even do things. I had to put sticky notes on everything, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All throughout the house, I had to put sticky notes like, please.
Keep
like
the microwave was always open.
The microwave was always open, always a mess, and I was like, well, it wasn't me because I haven't used it.
And I only use it to reheat things.
Yeah,
and things don't explode.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know what the fuck was exploding in here. And then my favorite one that I had to leave on forever until he got out of here is on the dishes in the cabinet. It literally says, "Is this actually clean?"
Now, here's a perspective. I was using some of his dishes while I was working here, and he goes, "Dude, I didn't even notice you were using my dishes because they're so clean." Because I told you
Right.
I was cleaning
Oh
your
my
dishes,
God.
and he goes, "Dude, I didn't even notice you were using my stuff. It's so
Oh
clean."
my God.
I go, "All I do is I use that blue sponge on that stick and just scrub it. Like
No,
Duh.
he's such a okay.
so
well,
easy."
Yeah, no lack of realistic long-term or short-term plans. Impulsivity.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
No. Okay. If he's impulsive, as in
He doesn't do anything. I wouldn't say yes to this one. Impulsive means you do things. What about, would you count impulsive as putting frozen, greased up fat garlic
No,
sticks in an
well,
oven with no
well.
pan? Thinking that's okay. Would that be counted as impulsive or stupid?
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really know about the impulsive.
I'd say it would be well.
I'd say possibly present. How about possibly
Yeah,
present?
possibly present.
Yeah. I don't think, yeah. All right. Irresponsible behavior as a parent, I put absolutely definitely
Yes.
not because, no, as a
Well,
parent.
Oh, as a parent.
He's not a parent. He
Okay,
doesn't
no,
apply to that
right,
one.
right.
So I just put definitely out.
Oh, I thought you said.
Dude, that motherfucker's never. What?
I thought you said a parent.
Oh, a
not,
parent.
Not a parent.
A
like,
parent,
yeah.
like a parent, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll never be a parent, but I hope.
Well.
I hope.
If
Dude,
he-
first of all, he can't adopt. No one would allow him adoption.
Yeah, because of his mental.
No, everything. Because
Yeah.
no, he would not qualify for adoption. My parents told me it's like a strenuous fucking process.
Plus, he's already on disability and stuff.
Yeah, no, he's not gonna be a father ever. Plus he likes it up the bum too much, so I think we're good. We're safe. The earth is safe for more of him.
Unless he adopts, but well,
He can't. Exactly. That's what I'm
he
saying.
can't.
We don't have to worry about that. All right. So frequent marital Oh, so common or constantly in a new relationship.
Yeah,
Well, okay. Let me ask you this: when was his last relationship?
he would impulse. Okay, I guess this does qualify as impulsively, I guess. But anytime I would hang out with his boyfriend and him, right, at the bar, he would go off to some other guy and then bring him back to where we're sitting and then kiss him and like hump him or whatever during dancing or whatever because there was music outside and right in front of Finn. And they wouldn't, because usually in an open relationship you would communicate saying, hey, I like this person, to make sure they're possibly not like, infected with a disease or something. Instead, Zach's just going off to any random guy at this bar and just like flirting with him, trying to like fuck him right there, right in front of his boyfriend. And the open relationship was Zach's idea. So his boyfriend, his now ex-boyfriend, just sitting there like, I'm not used to this. I agreed to it, but like,
All right. So I don't know still if that would be. It's possibly impulsive. I'm still gonna say possibly present.
Yeah.
Like if there was a somewhat
It's
present,
not. It's
that'd
not
be
all
better.
the time. It's
Exactly.
not. Yeah.
Exactly. So frequent, but you didn't answer my question because this answers this question. So frequent marital, or we'll just say relationships, frequent relationships. So when was his last boyfriend? Before F, when was his previous relationship?
Oh no, he's never had a boyfriend.
There. Okay, so he doesn't apply to that, but we can already see behavior in the shortness of this relationship and the way he took it. That if he does end up in another one, it's going to end up the same way as this one. So I'm going to say, yes, there will be, but since we don't know for sure, I'm going to say possibly present.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if we say Zach. We don't care. It's Sluggy Dougie. But everyone knows it's Doug or Zach, but F created Doug, so Doug it is, and now it's Sluggy Dougie. Because he's a big slug. Alright, so juvenile delinquency. Now, delinquency, I would say no. He doesn't lash out exactly.
Okay, he was never criminal. He never.
Yeah, exactly. I would say never. He's a pushover. He's a pussy. If you could put him in his place by raising your voice at him.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he wants to stay safe. He wants to stay protected. He knows that if he does what I tell him to do, he can live here. You know what I mean? That attitude. That's not how it works.
Right.
Like, it's not like I'm an enforcer.
Each person should have limits.
And you notice he would always buy shit, and then he'd say, "Oh, I bought this for you because I know you like it." So he bought like 3 different.
Was it ice cream?
No, well, no, he never bought me ice cream. He bought me, what's it called? Eggnog. There we go. 3 different flavors of eggnog, and I think I tried them each once because of my sweet tooth. Like I like things now and then that are sweet. Ice cream, I'll go to town for sure.
Oh yeah.
But like, what I noticed is, and so he says, "Oh, I got it because I know you like it." And then he bought me like these giant bags of mixed fruit, and he goes, "Well, I got them because I know that you like strawberry, and it can go in your smooth or your shakes, your protein shakes."
Right.
And it's like, so he does all these things because he thinks I will sit there and say, "Oh boy, this is normal behavior. This is what normal people do." Like, dude, I didn't ask for it. I've not touched it since. And here's the funny part. He ended up chugging all 3 of those in less than a week. They were gone.
Of the eggnog?
I was actually really excited when he left, because this was recently, right before he left. I was really excited when he left that Friday, because I was like, oh, cool, that means he left the eggnog. I went down there, all gone. All gone. Just as, like, crusty old milk. 2 unused, or 2 unfinished milk gallons. And no eggnog. But anyway, so yeah, juvenile delinquency though, I agree. Like he's pathetically, like, as far as violent or criminal, he's innocent. Or he's pathetically innocent. Poor probation or parole risk. Now again, that doesn't apply to him. Honestly, I don't even see him getting arrested because he's too stupid to even want to break the law. Failure to accept responsibility for his own actions.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Many types of offense. I don't know what this means. Or is it offense? Many types of offense or many types of offense? What does that mean?
Wait, hold on. Read it one
Literally,
more time.
it says...
read it one more time.
Many types of offense, or is it many types of offense. See what I'm saying? They're two different kind of words.
Maybe he does.
Like, is it saying like he has different kinds of aggression, or is it saying like?
Or does he offend a lot of people?
Many types of offense. Okay,
or
maybe that's what it is.
Either he offends
like
a lot of people.
Intentionally offending people. Because then I'd say no.
That would make sense with his Asperger's, because Asperger's, we can unintentionally offend you, but it comes off.
Okay, so I'll say possibly present just because I kind of don't. Yeah, I'm not really sure where they're going with that. Drug or alcohol abuse, not direct cause of. Yeah, no.
I mean, he does drink a lot of wine, but it's not like every day.
When he drinks, he drinks a whole bottle, but he rarely drinks.
Right.
The real issue is why the fuck is he buying all that shit when he doesn't even have a job? Yeah.
I'll just take from my savings.
Yeah, I'll just not pay my landlord and dip. I'm just gonna dip.
I mean, at least it's a cheap bottle of wine.
Yeah, and then he leaves his fucking chair. Oh, did you see? I crushed up, dude. I took the shovel and I took the red chair out back, and individually, very carefully, because you don't want to splinter plastic and have it fly into your face or some shit. So individually, I started just chopping off the legs, and then I kind of just broke them off, and then I cut it in half, and then I was like, perfect. Carried it all back there and threw the black one in there too. But that piece of shit didn't even. I pointed at the goddamn chairs. They stopped the car on the other side of the island, like driving out.
Right.
They saw me pointing at the chairs, and he just goes, and then they drove off. They waved and drove off, and it was like, okay, so you are even now currently leaving and still leaving me with shit to deal with.
Yeah.
Like the feet prints on the walls and. Yeah, man. Okay, so the answer, So the answer to the test, your score was 31 out of a possible 44. While there is no specific cutoff, higher scores indicate a greater likelihood of psychopathy. And then it says, concerned about your score? Chat online with a licensed therapist. Oh my god. Yeah, he could use like 12 of those right now. All at once. And
12 online therapists.
Yeah. On the 12th day of Christmas.
My true love gave to me one more therapist.
For real, they would honestly, all 12 of them have to sit there together in the room and just listen to him. Well, that's the thing too, he doesn't speak, and when you ask him what he's thinking, he can't answer that question. I still find that baffling. He cannot answer the question. If I say, what are you thinking right now? You should be able to tell me.
Right.
He just sits there, staring at you.
Because if you told me that, looking at him during that time, I'd be like, I'm thinking that this man is
like right now. I'm thinking
he's possibly dangerous, but also he's like a complete dumbass.
I'm thinking I want to show you this. It's psychopath face. Okay, so.
Is that his stone face then?
Yep.
Okay.
Hang on, you're gonna love this. It's totally like doctors recognize it, like therapists, actual doctors, face expression. It's just psychopath face. So I want to find a man though. Here you go. Here's. So. Trustworthiness. So I mean, there's that shit. Whatever. That's not what I'm looking for though. That's all. Here's some good examples. Just dead. Look at that dead. They might be smiling, but the eyes are saying nothing. That one looks violent.
Right.
That one looks more like Zach. Like just kind of like.
Or that. Really that.
That?
Yeah. Like a form of that. He just smiles more.
Like just completely oblivious.
Okay. Look, Dexter. Oh my god.
Yeah, that looks like Zach, bro. That is Zach's fucking smile and everything.
He's a redhead too. Oh
dude, Sluggy Dougie is Dexter.
Only not.
Except he's not a killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at the eyes and everything, the smile, like that fake look at that. Tell me you can't see that smile.
Now I don't think I can watch Dexter anymore.
Right?
Damn it.
Oh my
well, no, actually,
god.
Wait, I think they just had the new season, but...
Oh my god.
Whatever, but yeah, oh my god. The picture of Dexter smiling, I was like, what the...
And the way the eyes curled down a little bit, like again, the smile's there, but the eyes are telling a whole different story. Holy shit. Okay, so now, this is going to be the best part of the podcast for the future. We're going to get into the thoughts.
Okay.
I haven't read these. I just wrote them, and then I went back to work.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yep, and I typed them as fast as fucking possible. So, whoever's left listening, congratulations. This is going to hopefully get a little weird. Okay, now we're both going to have to figure out what the fuck I was saying. Oh, first of all, I did want to bring up a coworker called and asked. Did I tell you about the coworker that asked me if she sounded fat?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I did tell you about that story. Okay. All right. So. Okay, fine. I'm the owner. Call story. Tried pulling out all the stops and ended with this. What? Connecting social media and being able to. Okay, I don't know what that first part was. See, I don't know what the. I think that might have been a work thing.
Yeah, you were doing something at work and you were trying to get us an appointment, but.
Okay, so fuck that one.
That part, yeah.
Yeah, fuck that one. All right, so connecting social media and being able to say and do whatever you want as a parallel to Zach being able to live here and do whatever he wanted. Eventually, it will work itself out when people show their true colors. Everything you say or do online, your employers and your family can see, and it will expose yourself with that voice. So you either come out good or you end up getting kicked the fuck out of my house and burning all bridges along the way. I was connecting. Oh, I was watching something about how social media, they're worried that these movements are getting so big and popular that social media really will do a number on change. Like all of a sudden people will take the whole snail thing seriously.
All of our new generations are going to be.
Going to take this shit.
They're going to be so exposed to this more because I've noticed every new show that because there's certain rules they have to follow if they want their show to be eligible for an award or like an Emmy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so these shows on HBO Max and all this place have to follow a certain set of rules. And one of them is they have to have an LGBTQ member of some sort in their show. Now, I'm not saying that's bad, but the way they introduce the character...
It's sad that you have to push it.
It's sad that you have to push it so to the point to where that might be...
If you want this award...
No, it's so apparent or so so present that the first scene, they show you the main character and then, this person's already dating another woman. Or this person's...
I feel it. Yeah. I mean, Batwoman did the same thing.
For example, the new Buzz Lightyear movie that kids were watching, there was a gay couple. Mm-hmm. A lesbian.
Yeah, you heard about that, right?
No, I watched it.
But did you hear that it got canned out of a bunch of theaters
around
the globe or some shit because it was, a girl kissed a girl!
Right, but I saw that and I was like, okay, not a big deal, but then I don't know if there were kids there, but they right, but...
What, they've never seen a lesbian before?
No, my point is, if they're young enough and they haven't been exposed to that...
Well,
and
see... I disagree.
Let me relate that back to some cases I've heard where
I want to write that down. Go ahead.
Kids would just walk up to their parents and let's say they're a boy and they're like, "Mommy, I'm a girl," and their only examples is
I see what you're saying. So exposed to the point where they don't know really, and exposed,
right.
not taught and learned, and understood, just
shoved
exposed.
Shoved in their face.
No, I agree with that because I think it should be taught and learned as really as possible. Right. But you're right, exposing it to people, because it is still an uncomfortable subject for parents.
Right, of course.
So a lot of them, so I get that. I actually do get that. So it would be uncomfortable in that sense. Why is mommy kissing mommy? Well,
I was just giving you a detailed description on the content being shoved,
Yeah, definitely. No, that actually makes a lot of sense.
If it was just them having a casual relationship, sure.
Or maybe just, why? The real question is why. Did they need to do? Why do they need to do
or why do they need to do it? Why do they need to intentionally expose? It's like wait till they're older, till they've actually learned what sex is.
Put it in the Star Wars shit. You know what I mean? You already got a billion other things you're working on. What the hell are you doing with Toy Story? Look, fuck it. But okay, so no. What my point is though is I think my theory is, and this is my theory. I think that we're going to get, I think enough smart people, and there are surprisingly more than you would think.
No, that's part of it, because with a lot, but
hold on, let me finish this before I lose this. They're going to start being tired of this shit, and they're going to start just being like, all right, we're done, stop. Like, no one cares anymore, just stop. At some point, there's going to be a drawn line.
Right.
So at some point, I think I just drew a parallel to, I think eventually social media will calm down. It's going to take some time, but it will calm down to the point where eventually people will just be like, all right, dude, you're outrageous. Shut up. And I connected that directly to just like Zach. He was exposing himself more and more and more to the point where it was like, dude, guess what? We're done.
Even literally.
We're all
Hey,
done.
do
Yeah,
it-
literally
okay.
exposing himself.
So
remember when he was laying naked?
Yeah.
Remember?
So Anthony
Oh, God.
told me.
Oh,
he
God.
told me this
Oh, I
story.
thought you were there.
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think it was the day after I was
Yeah, I
there.
was just like, why does he lay on his?
But I left, and then he texted me the next day, and he goes, I just walked by Doug's room, and
Sluggy Duggy.
Sluggy Dougie, and he was jerking off.
Oh, that was another time. Yeah, that's also what happened. Correct.
With the door open.
Yep.
Right in front
And
of
so
him.
I immediately just slammed it shut.
Yeah, and he had to immediately walk in and close the door. He didn't even notice.
And I brought that story up to him, to his face, because I wanted to make sure Ben even knew that I wasn't bullshitting about that story. I called Zach out on him, too, on that. I was like, dude, how is that normal behavior? You were masturbating in my house with your door open. You know I went, like, what? I don't know what else to, I don't even know. Like, there's no reaction other than what?
You just stand there and you're like,
did it turn him on for me to like walk by? You know what I mean? And like close the door, like, oh, he saw me.
I mean, okay,
oh.
it could have been an example, but how was he act? Like, did he not notice you, or did he notice you and just like kept doing it?
No, he got startled, but I went so quickly. I mean, because I went toward his room because I was already going to him. I was like, so I turned into his room and I was like, hey, Zach, and I saw it and I just grabbed the handle, shut it, and he just kind of jumped and like, but the other time was when, his door was, I can't remember.
You said he was laying on his stomach.
I think his door was up. I can't remember. I think I opened his door.
But he was butt ass naked.
Yeah, I think I opened his door because I needed something from him and he wasn't responding. And I thought, were you there for that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because he was laying on his side and he had like this. He was like,
remember
I took a picture of it and I said,
was.
paint me like one of your. No, I sent you the picture.
Yeah, I was because I was on the couch watching TV. And then...
Oh, that's right. And you snuck it. Remember, I was like, look. And I took a picture and I said, paint me like one of your French girls. Because he was laying on his side with his arms all like, ooh. And it was just like... And his penis was tucked into his body, like, because he has a micro penis.
You had to censor everything.
I know, I had to censor... Well, there was not much to censor. Remember how small
you had to use an emoji.
I just used a little... It wasn't a little white bubble or something?
No, it was the penis emoji.
That's right. I used the eggplant. But, like, he's got a micro penis. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's whatever normal when it's large, but it's probably a grower, definitely not a shower. That's for sure. But okay, so I guess we understand that one. That's my theory on social media. I don't know if that's gonna happen. All right, now I can delete that forever.
That took a turn.
I know. Social media too. Zach naked, no penis. All right. Okay, so here we go. Oh, so you know the whole story of Osiris weighing guilt against a feather?
Oh, yep.
Okay, so I wrote weighing guilt with feather, with Osiris, with what happened with Zach. Wow, that's a lot of whiffs. Want versus what I do. Oh, what I want versus what I do. I won't do it, but I want to. Makes this a moral struggle which shouldn't even exist in my mind because this isn't who I am, but this is what he invokes. So I was going to say, I have no guilt. That's what I was thinking. I would have no guilt. The fact that I would have no guilt ruining his life further, but that pisses me off that I even think that. So I would go to Osiris, and as much chaos and destruction, even murder, that I did to that man, I would go to him and Osiris would be like, you sure you want to put down your guilt on this fucking next to this feather? I'd be like, bro, you go ahead and double up on whatever guilt you can find. But see, I hate that he has invoked that out of me, because that's not who I am.
Well, see, with me is like, you know.
Yeah, how did it? Yeah, go ahead.
I joked around with his ex-boyfriend, and we were just talking, and we're like, you know what? Here's a way we can make him jealous because he's going out, and people are showing you that he's out and about and doing his thing. And at the same time, thinking about it, I was like, I still felt bad that we even brought it up. I mean, we were just joking around, but I mean, so after you guys like officially broke up and he was out of the house, I texted him one last text and I put everything out on the table and I said, look, it wasn't my intention to have you move out. I didn't have any say in this.
Yeah.
It was,
You didn't?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was reassuring him.
Mhm.
But his response was actually, I was pretty surprised. I thought he would like ignore me and try to defend himself. He said, no, he's like, I'm not mad at you or Anthony. He's like, I think basically he said he did it to himself, or he tried to say something that like, it just happened. But anyway, I was like, okay, so once I got that guilt out of the way,
Yeah, now you
then
feel
I'm just
better.
like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
it's done now.
Yeah. Well, and the
And
sad,
so because I did actually, what prompted me to do that was because his ex-boyfriend was going through this similar thing when he had to break up with him.
yeah.
And so I was like,
I feel bad.
I felt bad because that did happen, but it turns out that
Sluggy Dougie hurt everyone through a path of destruction for a year and a half, my friend.
actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll tell you this much: his now ex-boyfriend is a hell of a lot happier. I've seen
Oh,
a
good.
complete of. I can tell he's still struggling. It just happened.
Well, it takes
But-
time. That's
right,
an
right.
emotional,
Right,
you know.
it takes time, but he is so far he's a little happy. He's a little bit more happier.
Good.
Yeah.
And he's got his... Dude, and think about that, too, by the way, because Zach, Sluggy Dougie...
And he actually made a connection with someone who he cares about, and that connection cares about him. So
Who?
His Zach's ex-boyfriend.
Made a new connection?
No, like a current connection that he's with, but I'm saying he loves that person more. Like he spent so much time with this other person while Zach and him were going out that he wants to be devoted toward this new person. That's why he broke up with him, because he no longer.
I think I know who that person is. Now,
yeah.
all right, hold on. So, what was I going to say?
And it's just he's a lot happier.
So, back to it, though.
Mm.
Fuck, what was I going to say?
So we were talking about how
Sluggy Dougie essentially just... Oh, I know what I was going to say. Sluggy Dougie constantly would talk to me about, well, if I ever do move out, I'll go live with F. And I was thinking, what the fuck is he talking? Like, really? You think, like... I mean, you just started dating, like...
Right.
You barely even know how to live on your own, like... You almost blew up my kitchen...
imagine that happening in an apartment.
Imagine if I didn't work at home.
but-
Let's just
right.
go with that.
Or in an apartment. If he was alone there because he doesn't have a job.
Oh, no, he won't. No, first of all, one thing that's very true, me and my mom actually discussed this a lot. He will never be living alone. No. There's no universe in which this universe, there is no...
It makes
path.
sense. It makes sense.
He might be in an assisted living.
Mm.
He might be with family. He might be homeless. But he will never live alone. Now, this is why I knew Zach was so excited, showing me pictures and shit like that about F's new apartment. Mr. Crappy Doug was excited that he had a potential new place to live and he wouldn't have to worry so much about quote-unquote rules, which are just actual real-life things, not rules.
You would have to do the same thing living with
But then he would torment, and so I'm glad I wasn't the one to cause the breakup, but you remember what I think I told you this in front of him, but I said, F does not deserve to be with you and put up with your shit. So if by Friday you haven't broken up with him, I'm going to tell him every single thing that you've ever done and blah, blah, blah. And I'm really glad I didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't. Apparently, I think the foot fungus kind of started was like the what is it? The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, because his boyfriend is a clean freak, and I don't blame him. He's fine, whatever.
It's good to be clean, period.
Right, it is. But it's just like that. He did tell me that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
It just and especially when Doug slept in his bed overnight with no socks on. So now you have the fungus on a bed where you feel comfortable and you sleep that you now have to deal with.
It's a common fungus that every single one of us human beings will get it normally happens when you get older usually.
But he already has ingrown.
But he's already getting I can't remember the name of the fungus, but it's like a yellow looking, kind of crusty. But and he's also got his toenails are growing in and to his skin and like it's
And they're long.
and they're just and it's they're just disgusting and so all this it's just and well go on yeah.
So it was it's a health concern, but not only that, you have the potential to spread it to someone who you're supposed to.
Well, no, I do not believe it can be spread. I do not believe that. But
well,
as a germaphobe, though, I would still freak the fuck out.
Not even as a germaphobe. Just
basic, in general,
basic hygiene.
hygiene.
If I allow you to sleep in my bed, at least be clean.
It literally takes you go to a doctor, you get antibiotics, you take them, and it goes away, and you just take care of your feet. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So I don't know what the shit he's doing.
And we even told him, we're like, please.
He looks like his feet has jaundice.
We even told him, being concerned, we're like, please talk to a doctor. Or
right.
Talk to a dermatologist.
So I told him, I want you to do.
And the very next day, after we hammered this into his head, Anthony asked him, what did you do today? And he just looks at him stone faced and goes, nothing.
He said, absolutely nothing. I told him the night before, I said, if you do anything tomorrow, if you take that was a
if you do
this was our pre-conversation.
Right.
This wasn't the conversation. This was a pre. So I said, if you're going to do anything tomorrow, call a doctor. Get your feet taken care of. You're gonna get an infection. You're gonna like the fungus. That's easy to take care of. Like I said, antibiotics, something like that. Very easy. Take care of your feet, clean it, whatever. The ingrown toenails. I mean, all of his toes are jacked up, and that can lead to some serious problems. And so, yeah, the next day I was really excited about work. Because you were working. Yeah, you were working here, and so I came out. Right. I was all excited, whatever. And I said, and so I was, me and you were sitting downstairs, and Zach was upstairs. I said, all right, Zach, so what did you today? What did you today?
What did you do today?
What did you do today? Yeah, absolutely nothing. And at that point, it was just like, I lost it, man.
Well, yeah, because then I was like, Zach, do you know that last night we told you time and time again that we've wasted your first 6 hours of your day off. It was my, still 6 hours. But I was like, we wasted 6 hours of our day off, because we have the whole day tomorrow, but we're just off for the, because we're done. We wasted 6 hours of our day off when we could be doing what we want, relaxing, watching TV, to try to help you. And I even said this to him. I said, and you're telling me right now that after we wasted 6 hours of our life on you, that you're coming to us now and you're saying you did nothing this entire day while Anthony and I were at work. So while we were working because we have to and doing what we need to do so we can live, you're sitting here with nothing to do because you've lost that job. You've lost that thing you need to do to be on your own. And you decided to take nothing into account. Even though we lectured you, we tried to be nice. And we even told you, look, we're not lecturing you because we're lecturing you. This is medical. You need to take care of this. And you didn't even do that. And that's what we told you to do, to try to say, hey, this is what you need to do to prove to us that you're listening. And that's just.
Oh my God! That's when I went red.
Because what happened was you were nice enough, and I could tell you agreed with me to give him some sort of ultimatum, something for him to just consider, and hopefully he would do. Instead, he listened to you, acted like he considered, and was just like, nah, they're fine, and didn't even do it. It was either that or he completely forgot.
So I just want to let you know, I've never experienced I don't know how to explain. I guess I now understand what people mean when they say they were seeing red. I don't want to say I blacked out or
no. Here,
I was there, but right at that moment,
I'm saying just to reassure you.
Sure, yeah.
Right. So I could tell you were in control. You were holding back, because I was talking to, giving you breaks and stuff. And then you, like you said, in that moment when you did kind of lose it, when you were yelling at him, I did watch you, and I did tell him things right away, and it did calm you down. But I could tell you were over the edge. That's why I told you. I said, "Hey, take a break. I got this," because you knew I was talking a lot too, and I was losing my voice literally during the conversation. It was so bad that I was still talking, and my voice sounded like a broken mic. I was just like, "I'm done. I can't talk anymore."
Dude, I just thinking.
And I could barely talk the next morning just to tell him to leave me alone. I was like, leave me alone.
Just thinking about how when he was sitting in that chair and I was in his face, just I've never heard myself get that loud and angry. Just absolute furious. Just I wanted to I wanted to I wanted to destroy him right then and there. And oh man, I think at one point my fist went up, dude, and I just had to. Oh man, it was.
But see,
Oh.
like I just told you, I would have punched him in the face too. But
I yeah.
I didn't show that because, like I said, I had the opposite. I was shut down because when he told me we were no longer friends, it was just like.
No, it's not that he would no longer. friends.
We were
You
never
never
friends. Yeah,
friends.
since he told me we were
He
never
was a
friends.
lie in the
Yeah,
beginning.
he was a lie from the very beginning. He said we have never been friends. It
He's
was
never
like-
seen you. That's what
Yeah,
he said.
he-
I've never seen you as a friend.
My body, my brain, everything just
That
shut
must
down.
have just that. I saw the devastation in your, like that
Okay,
feeling. I know that feeling.
because I was so affected by it. Do you remember I said, "Oh shit, I need to eat something right now"?
Yeah, because probably yeah.
Because I was so drained of, putting my energy into him, trying to help him, and then on top of the shock, my body was just like, "Nah, you're done."
Oh.
Like I had to
Yeah.
eat something just to like think for a second, and just to be like, okay.
All right, so I got one more here that's longer. All right, so we're gonna have to just see what happens here. No matter what dog it is, people love dogs or like dogs. People may not want to own a dog, and there are a rare breed, pun intended, of people who hate dogs, but that's irrational because who did the canine species do to you as a whole to piss you off? I guess I wrote that. Every single one is different colors, personality,
See,
interests,
here's the
abilities.
thing.
Hold on, wait, let me finish. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, let me finish real quick. Abilities, weight, size, habits. In general, we as human beings appreciate. All dogs. We have a symbiotic relationship that has been around for an incredible amount of time.
Right.
Yet somehow humans still can't even appreciate their own kind in the aspect of, wow, look at all these billions of thoughts coming from all these different people, all different colors, size, details, beliefs, and not to say all of these thoughts are, not to say all of these thoughts are viable, but I mean, what do you think, what is it about the human brain that prevents us from something so basic as, wow, I've never thought about it this way before, let's think about on that and evaluate it.
Okay, so
Oof,
here.
okay.
So actually, this is a perfect example.
Okay, yeah.
Zach even has a dog, and I can tell he loves his dog. It's his dog.
Sure, actually, that I see. I see
but
that.
Here's the thing. I can also tell that he is probably distant from that animal or has been for a while, because like anytime I would be over there and the dog would pay attention to me.
That's right. You told me about that.
Yeah, dogs have
Me too.
dogs have always been naturally drawn to
Me too.
and I've had such a deep connection with dogs that technically I'm on my third closest dog that I've had, because one Wednesday, who I've grown up with, who I raised at my dad's place.
The dog's name is Wednesday,
Yeah.
by the way. That still throws
She
me
was
off.
she was no bigger than my hand.
Aw.
She was old enough to be away from her mother. She's still a puppy. We were able to adopt her, and I fell in love with her. She is I treat her like my daughter. If I had a daughter,
Just like, dude, it really is true when you care about a pet in general.
Right.
My bearded dragons were my children.
And so when I found out that my sister ended up hurting my dog, I was livid. I told my dad straight up. I said, I honestly feel like. I told him, I was like, even though I would never do this, I feel like I want to beat my sister's ass.
So how are you gonna feel about? I mean, you only live, or they only live
Right.
about 6 months. But how do you feel about the fact that you're gonna be a little?
So
you're not gonna have the pet or the dogs.
How I'm dealing with it is because I notice while I've spent more time over there, that when my dad's there, when my siblings are there, she interacts with them very well.
Oh, okay.
And I can tell she's happy with my dad.
Good.
Anytime I'm over there, yes, she is game to, sleep with me, cuddle with me, all that stuff like she normally does.
Get intimate with you.
I mean, hey, she makes a great back pillow, which is nice.
She also snores very interestingly.
But here's the thing, she snores so loud, it doesn't even bother me. I could sleep in the same room with her, and she could just be, and I'd be out. I'd just be like, no, you're fine. But, I've always been close to
Who
dogs.
would win, Zach or her?
Wednesday is just, she's my daughter.
No, I mean, who wins in snoring?
Oh, Wednesday.
I could really. You think I could hear Wednesday through the wall too?
With your thin walls, and she is kind of like maybe a little bit, but you probably wouldn't mind it because it's not like.
Oh, I never. Yeah, I even know it. See, it never bothered me.
It's more of like
Yeah.
it's more of when she breathes in, her sound of her voice goes real high.
See, that's the thing. That's the funny.
Because her face, because she's a pug, it's just not.
Yeah.
So when they sleep, they do snore, but I've gotten so used to it, and I don't mind it. It's just like now. Sometimes if I can't go to sleep, I'm like, shut up, Wednesday, please. But if I'm already like tired going to sleep, it's like not a big deal.
No, I was gonna say the funny thing when you tell people, oh, you were snoring. Some of people's first response is hilarious. They're like, I don't snore.
Right.
And really, the response would be, oh shit, how loud, or how. So I want to look this up real quick. So snoring symptoms and causes. A harsh sound that occurs when air flows past relaxed tissues in your throat, causing the tissues to vibrate when you breathe. Everyone snores. Okay, come on. I want to see the bad snoring. Because it's something about compression on your
Airway.
Yeah. Called obstructive.
Excuse me.
But following symptoms. Okay. See now, look at this. Excessive daytime sleepiness.
Yeah.
Zach.
Yep.
Breathing pauses during sleep. Yes, because sometimes I'll sit and listen to him,
And it's
and
silent.
then he stops.
Difficulty.
Because my dad used to do that.
Difficulty concentrating.
Morning headaches. Yeah, he complains about
Well, no,
headaches all the time.
I'm saying difficulty concentrating.
Yeah, morning headaches.
Morning
yes.
headaches.
I don't know about his throat. He
No.
probably has a sore throat because he's been putting something foreign in it, if you know what I mean.
Putting a lot of dicks in there.
Put a lot of sure. Sure, yeah. Restless sleep. I don't know. Yeah, I guess gasping, choking at night. No.
Gasping and choking on something else.
Something else, yeah, right. High blood pressure. High blood pressure because of something else.
Actually, one day he told me he couldn't talk to me because his throat hurt, and I made the joke. I said, "So what? You sucking too much dick?"
No, see,
But no, he knew I was joking, but he responded back. But he just went her. He typed her.
Wait, I'm sorry. What? Wait, what? Wait, what?
He typed her.
I'm sorry. Wait. What the...
Okay.
So repeat the whole.
Okay, so.
You have this saved.
So I wanted to talk to him.
He's following it up right now.
So I was,
what the fuck?
I was, you know how I told about my guilt and stuff. I want to talk to him.
Oh,
so
this was recent.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
And so we eventually made a joke because he said his throat hurt because he didn't want to talk to me. Hold on.
He's so full of shit, dude.
Well, I knew he was. Okay, hold on.
I knew he was. Yeah. He hurt. What the fuck is he hurt?
Jesus, I gotta find it. Hold on. Oh wait, no, it's before this.
How do you still have him in your phone?
Because it's.
Why?
It's fun to keep his messages because now I have proof here.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Okay. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Damn it, where is it? Okay, it'll take me a second.
Do.
Here, go ahead and talk about.
Sure. Well, I mean, ironically, I don't really have anything to talk about. I mean, shit.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. So.
Here.
I said, let me call you real quick, and then he goes, my throat hurts, dude. I really can't talk right now. And I go, okay, man. Well, I guess when your voice feels better. Oh wait, hold on. No, that's not the. Damn it. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Because he tells me his throat is sore, and then he goes, think I caught something from my folks. I was like, oh yeah, I did hear something about your mom being sick. Oh wait, no. Wait, where is it? Oh, here we go. He says not good, but then I says, or about his throat, and I go, oh no, man, wait, damn it. Okay. Oh, it's toward the end.
You are crushing this time, my brother.
I know. Later. Okay.
Down.
I thought it's.
Down.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we are getting close to this.
But anyway.
No, keep going. No, I want to find. I'm gonna give the email address and phone number and shit.
I'm trying to find the he/her, but I can't find. Okay, just.
He's no longer here. Hi Perry. Yeah, hi Perry. No Perry's.
Oh shit. Okay, here it is.
Okay.
I said, have you? Okay, so I was like, okay, man. Well, I guess when your voice feels better, you can talk to me on the phone. He says, will do. I was like, okay, he's probably not gonna respond. And then later on, like a couple days later, I go, well, have you been talking too much, or have you been taking too much dick? Is that why your throat hurts?
Mm.
And he just goes,
What is he?
Hardy her, or
Hardy. Oh, Hardy har. He her would have been funnier.
yeah,
He her.
Hardy har.
Hardy har. He her. Dude, this guy, man.
And then I typed a big long paragraph to explain to him, because he was bringing up the things we've talked to him about, and I was giving him more examples so he can try to understand. And that was it.
I don't even know. Yeah.
And he just goes, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that. I like all that stuff. Yeah.
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 And I even mentioned the fact that this has affected his relationship with his ex-boyfriend, or his.
I just feel bad for his dad, to be honest. I do not feel bad for his mother. She is a nut job who.
I guess I feel bad for the situation he's put himself in.
Nope.
But
you feel bad for a situation?
No, what I'm saying is.
I feel bad for. Yeah, I guess.
Like I said, I'm still attached to him because we have been friends for a while. Now, my current mood right now. You
believed.
Yeah, because I believed for so many years that we were friends, but we weren't, and so I've been stuck in, I guess, that fantasy that it's like, I'll put it to you this way. My situation with him right now is I don't really care about him. I'll text him from time to time, but at this point, I don't even text him at all. If he texts me, sure. If I want to, if I feel like it, but right now, he doesn't mean anything to me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's certain moments where I think back and I'm like, well, with this current situation, yeah, I feel bad for him, but it doesn't.
Let me ask you this: what did he ever do for you?
I mean, okay, he was a great friend.
How?
He did let me stay the night at his house.
Whoa,
whoa. And it was nothing like that.
No, I mean, no way. Like, big deal. How does that make him a great friend?
What I'm saying at that time, because we were both younger and it was awkward because his parents were there and stuff, because he was never comfortable with his parents, it seemed like. And I was like, dude, I'm just sleeping over. We're friends. If that's okay with your parents, whatever. But like it. So anyway, he was nice enough to just I don't know. Okay, I guess.
I mean, dude, you would have answered the question by now if there was a fucking answer.
Right. So I guess my younger self, when I thought we were friends.
You believed, you just felt.
I believed
you were friends.
Yeah, I felt like we were friends.
It was a friendship.
Because we'd hang out, we'd have private conversations.
Okay.
We would. It seemed like we had a friendship because we'd always hang out.
Well.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, I never saw him as a friend. I saw him a means to an end. I needed a roommate.
But like I said, I didn't really notice that behavior until he was older, and I didn't spend very much time with him anymore because we were both older. I was in college.
Let me just point out, I've always been brutally honest with him, and I believe all of you were here for this. But do you remember when I can't remember what I said, but everyone wanted me to start going out. You know what I mean? Like, we should go out. You need to get out of your stuff, staying at home. And I was like, I don't think of it. And I was like, something happened where I was like, I can't go out with, I think it was at the time where...
You went out with M.
No, I kicked... Yeah. Well, so I kicked M out. And so I was like, well, I can't go out with him, and Ben's busy. And you're busy. I think you were there then. And anyway, someone was there. And Zach said, Doug said,
Ben was busy because I texted him not too long ago.
Oh, right.
Around that time, and he was like, "I have shit with family."
So was it you?
No, dude. The other Ben was busy.
No, was it Ben or the producer?
No, it was Ben because you texted.
Ben, it was Ben.
You texted me.
All right. So either way.
Yeah.
So I said it in front of someone, and. He goes. So I said to Zach, hold on.
M was just available at that time. Your schedule just worked out. You're like, I'm gonna try it out with M because.
Well, whatever. Yeah. The point is, it didn't work out. Like I didn't go out, and Doug goes. He goes, well, I could go out with you, and I straight up said to his face, because it's not a lie. No, I gave him a reason.
Right, but I was there.
You were like, so the producer was here. Yeah. So Ben was here. It was you. I thought it was you. But
okay.
I thought it was you.
Well, this was the next day when.
Okay, so straight up to his face, I said, Zach, I will be straight up with you. I will never go out alone with you. I'm sorry, but that will never happen for so many reasons. And he goes, I said, now you understand I'm not trying to be mean, right? And he goes, I get it. Well, I could bring F with, when he was still dating F.
Right.
He's like, I could bring F. And I was like, yeah, so I'd be a third wheel to a very awkward relationship. What the fuck
every
are
time
you on about?
Every time I would go to the bar with him, it would be us three.
Dude, yeah, it's just like, no, there is not he thought I was his friend. No, dude, you were my tenant. And you were miserable.
But also, Doug wouldn't even spend time with him at the bar. He would literally spend enough time for F to maybe buy him a drink every once in a while.
See, and that's the other thing. I bet, does Doug ever pay for anything for him?
He would pay for the rest of his drinks.
I know what I was going to say. Back to the test real quick. Remember when it said taking responsibility for your own action, or just owning up to shit? It's not other people's fault. It's on you. When he got fired from his first new job, or whatever you want to call it, at the photo booth, or whatever the hell Photoshop, whatever the hell it's called, he said, well, they told me I was allowed to use my cell phone and to listen to music and things.
Listen to music. If you're on your phone constantly texting,
he was always sending me pictures, and he said, and so I don't know what I did wrong. I was just doing what they said I was allowed to do. So it actually took me a few days to realize, and I came back to him, and I was like, hold up. You didn't get fired because you got fired because you were busy texting me and sending me pictures, and you weren't doing your fucking job. And then again, I said, tell me, am I wrong? And he's like, well, not really. I feel like, no, that's not really true. And I said, okay, how is it not true? Well, and then he couldn't answer, and I was like, so whose fault was that? And he's like, I understand. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just
it's one thing to be on your phone and you just change.
They said listen to music, fine.
Yeah, and you just change,
hands free.
You change your song maybe,
or whatever.
Right.
But
for a second, and then you go back to work. You're not just twiddling your thumbs. And so he thought. I bet all he heard was "You're allowed to use your phone," and
period.
then
that's it. Yeah. The rest doesn't matter.
Phone. What'd you say after that?
Yeah. Jesus, I wonder if he's even working, dude. I don't even know.
I don't think he is because you told him he had that.
What are you doing with your nose?
You told him. Okay, you told him. You said. Okay. He told you that he went to his job on Friday.
That's what he. No.
With his salad job.
He said he goes. Remember, I said, when do you start? He said Friday, and I said, so you're telling me you start tomorrow, and we're still up at like 4 a.m. And he's like, oh, I meant Monday. And I was like, all right, dude, actually, I remember I was like, I don't even care. I don't believe you anyway. I was like, whether you have a job or not, whatever. But, I mean, yeah, like, I'm done with you. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's working. I don't know. But he has put himself on so many shit lists that, I mean, he has no one, dude. Think about it. He's run out of friends. Michael even said, said, straight up, he said, wow, Doug must be really in a bad place or something like that right now because he's
really desperate.
Really desperate. That's what he said. Really desperate right now because he's even talking to me. How pathetic.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, dude, like he has no one, but he did that to himself. I tried for a year and a half, and I got nowhere. Again, I asked this very simple question, and so that all one of these people can hear. Sleepy must know. Has Zach changed at all since I have been introduced to your life? Has Zach changed at all?
Yeah.
Have I changed? What?
No, he's changed. I wouldn't say change. I would say that, okay, I guess a better word or phrasing would be, I've noticed.
Has he improved at all?
Oh, improved? No.
Okay.
I'd say since.
Have you improved since you've met me?
Yes.
Have I improved since you've met me?
Yes.
Look at that. Everyone's improving. I mean, Michael's where he wants to be.
Yeah.
That's fine. He's doing fine. That's fine. He wants to do the extra work to get less shit out of it.
Yep.
That's fine. But I have no, he's good. But Zach, no improvement whatsoever.
I'd say when he moved in with you, that's when I noticed a change. Like, that's when I noticed his real behavior. Yeah,
okay, he felt free to do whatever he...
Right, because he's out of his house. And
Yep.
so, like, yes, there's a certain adjustment period. You know, maybe when you first move out.
Oh yeah, he followed the rules to the book when he first moved in. Yeah.
But like,
You're thinking the opposite. It actually goes the other way. You start really strict, like, oh my God, I
right,
don't
right.
want to piss off Anthony because I live in this house, but really there shouldn't be that fear. And then when I showed him that
Yeah.
he can be comfortable, he went to his comfortability,
which
exactly,
is doing nothing.
exactly.
Like when you tell me to feel comfortable, I'd be like, okay, I'll make sure I
Yeah,
clean
exactly.
everything, make sure
Yeah.
everything looks nice.
It
but-
doesn't mean destroy my kitchen and
or burn down your house.
burn down the
He
house.
puts frozen breadsticks in an oven with no pan,
No pan.
not even foil underneath.
No, nothing.
Lets the grease and the frozen water melt.
He wanted to put
cause a grease fire.
he wanted to put water on it.
Oh yeah, and then put water on a grease fire.
Yep.
He would have singed off his eyebrows, lost all of his hair, burned down, burned
would've
part of
been-
your kitchen.
The house would have been fine. We would have taken it. I'm pretty sure it's insured.
Well,
Yeah, we
smoke-
have home insurance.
Smoke damage, but yeah, you'd still have to. But you could still take that out of his deposit too.
No, he'd be doing a lot more than that. It would come completely out of his deposit. And if anything wasn't covered by the insurance, then he would have to pay for it because that's not our responsibility.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. Like if you, dude, I had to deal with that when I was still, drinking heavily, like really heavily. Before you knew me, I don't tell this story often, but I might have told you. I flooded a house, and luckily it was caught in time. And I had to take care of full responsibility. Came out of my deposit. It actually didn't even take the whole deposit, which was good. It was like I said, but it was 2 weeks of huge industrial fans all over the kitchen. It was rough because I was cleaning out my water bottle upstairs, so I was letting it fill up and drain and clear whatever. And those holes on a sink where you fill the water, if it gets too high, it goes and drains into that.
Right.
It goes down, and it's like it prevents flooding. Well, this sink didn't have that pipe. I wasn't
It had
aware
the
of that.
hole for it.
It had
but
the
no
hole.
pipe on-
Yeah.
Yep.
It had the hole for it, but the hole
that's
just went
okay,
right into the cabinet.
That's the same thing with our upstairs bathroom at my mom's house.
Yeah. So, granted, I still took full responsibility. I said, because I was high and drunk, real weed, real alcohol, and I fell asleep. Yep, I fell asleep. And I woke up to banging on a door, and I was getting yelled at, oh, you flooded the house, and I thought it was a joke, because to me, time hadn't gone by.
Oh, right.
But I was sober at this point, like clear-minded. Turns out it had been pouring into the kitchen downstairs this whole time. And, and so, yeah, dude, it was I think it was probably the most embarrassing thing that I've ever experienced. More embarrassing than hallucinating, because that was just hilarious.
Yeah.
It wasn't dangerous. It wasn't, I got lucky. We'll put it that way.
Right.
But I'm very glad that I've changed that lifestyle a lot.
Well, no, you told me earlier, like, you don't even drink anymore.
Well, I've gotten to that point where I have a healthy relationship
Yeah.
with alcohol.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm saying, like, how you, like, you don't drink daily, you just drink on occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I work, I work. You
Right.
know? And then the rest of that is, really... Because I forget, I love having this job because I get so into it. I wish we could talk about it, man. But I get so zoned into it. I forget about my vapes or, my habits or anything. And I'm just like, 4 hours or 2 hours go by, all of a sudden it's break or lunch or break, and then boom,
Well,
you're done.
on good days, yes, there'll be some days where it's where it's like, oh, there was one day actually, it was during my 8 to 4, and it was like, I go, it's already almost lunch. Like, I remember taking the break, but even the break went fast. Like, I put in 15.
Yeah.
I got up. All I did was I went to the bathroom, got a drink, came back, and then talked to my mom
You
or
just
whatever.
get in the flow of
And
it.
so I came back, and it was like, 5 minutes left. I was like, oh, crap. And
Because
then,
I stopped
Yeah.
looking at it. I love this job so much that I have not once ever looked at it as, okay, when the fuck can I take my next break? I look at it as, holy
It
shit,
depends.
what can I do before my break
Right.
starts?
It depends
you know?
on how the day starts. So, like, if I start getting appointments, like, there's this one day where I made 10 appointments, remember? Like, you hopped on, you're like, you already have 8. I'm like,
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw
Well,
it.
I
dude.
was in such a flow.
Remember,
that,
don't use any names, though,
right,
just to
right.
let you know.
But I was in such a flow
Yeah.
that when it, like, I noticed you have to take your breaks because coherence. But
Yeah.
I noticed when it was right before my breaks, I go, okay, I have nothing else to do. I just made that current appointment. And I'm just like, okay, well, I can take my break. There was even a time where I let an inbound call come in, and I took it right when it was the time for my break. I've never done that before.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, no, usually I get it switched over beforehand,
Yeah.
but it'll still come in. So I almost got it to change, but it came in. I ended up just taking it,
Duh.
and I got the appointment.
Yeah.
Took my lunch later.
Dude, one thing
And
I've
then
always...
that was the perfect time because when I got back off lunch, my first call was outbound.
Yeah. So I love this. I think I told you when I needed. Well, I already made. I got the numbers and more, but my very last call of this entire week. What? No. This was Thursday. Never mind. This wasn't Friday. So it was right at 4 p.m. when I was supposed to clock out. I was going to click, whatever, and I got an inbound call, and I was like, "Oh, I'm taking this."
Right.
I know I could easily have clocked out right there. I mean, by every right.
Right.
And it would have moved on to someone else. But I ain't giving that up.
Right.
And so I got it scheduled. It'll be for next week for my next paycheck. So bada bing, bada boom. But I love it.
There are some days where, like, that day when I made 13 sets for the first time, when I got that last call, I was just like, no. Like, at that point, I had no energy left.
I've been there. I've been there.
I was like, no, I made enough today.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to, but I was so exhausted. It was just like, nah.
It is still like, it is the, so we do, if you couldn't fucking figure it out by now, telemarketing essentially, for a very, very large company. And it's very, I would say it's mentally stressful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very, because it's fast paced. If you want the money.
There's some days where I do feel absolutely exhausted afterwards.
Yeah.
But there are some days where
I seem to be exhausted after work, but then I get what I keep calling a second wind, where maybe if I eat food or something like that.
The block between like Monday night and Tuesday is the worst.
When do you start on Monday? Or Tuesday?
12 to 8 Monday, and then Tuesday 8 to 4.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, so it's like that, but then Sunday to Monday is good because I can start later, but then it's like, oh, I have to get up, I have to get up on Tuesday morning because now it's Monday and I'm working at noon, up at 8 a.m. when I just got off at 8
imagine,
p.m.
I still struggle with Thursday to Friday.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
off at 4
And then you have
on
to go-
Thursday, and I work at 2:30 on Friday, and I don't sleep more than 5 hours.
Yeah.
So as much as I try, even with the bedtime set at 4 a.m., I cannot make it that long. I'm already exhausted from, a long day. Like, I try. And so then I end up waking up at like 3 in the morning. And then I have to stay up for a while, but it's fuck,
you
I
know
don't.
what?
Yes. Then take a nap before you
saying,
work.
you know what you could try? You could probably get a sleep mask like this with some music. Because you do like
I need the sound, I don't
so
need the light. I just like the sound.
You do like to listen to your,
But that's the same thing
your
as saying I
YouTube.
can turn my monitor off.
Right, but also you wouldn't have speakers.
Well, if I were to try it, I would definitely support Musicozy for sure.
Because, I mean,
it does look very interesting.
These headphones are lined up to where it just goes on your ears, and you would just hear it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, sometimes, you're...
That's a good point, because I don't know how you'll be, like,
Right.
will it bother you? Well, because you have this now,
I'm
so you
saying
don't have to worry about my shit.
It
But,
will. Well, if I can hear it with this on, then there's...
Then there's definitely a problem, yeah.
Right,
That would be a problem.
I mean, the sound quality in this, for the quality that I got it at when I saw it, at first I was like, okay, the headphones probably aren't that good, but when I tried them, it was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
These are nice.
Yes, if anyone really, I guess, wants or has, issues sleeping simply because you're
So,
distracted by light or sound.
I got it off Amazon, and it was only $20. I typed in, it was actually for a gift exchange.
Oh, cool.
So for a Christmas Eve party I'm going to with my mom.
Wait, and you stole the gift?
No. Here's what I did. So she sent me like 5 different suggestions.
Okay.
She sent me a game called Bad People where you can try to learn more about the people you're friends with by their responses. And so there was that game.
Well, you should have taken that and brought it here.
But then I found this, and I was like, well, I've never heard of these things before.
Yeah.
I've always wanted something that's more comfortable to wear because I like to listen to music sometimes, especially days when it's hard to fall asleep. And so then
when your headphones don't pop out or irritate your ears.
And so this was like 19 something, and it was it was $20, and then I was like, well, I'm already buying the game for the gift exchange. Because then if someone wins it, whoever wins it, we could still play it.
Yeah.
You only need 3 to 10 people to play it. But I got that game, and then I said, okay, well, if the headphone things don't work out, if the mask headphones don't work out, then I'll just take the game. And I tried the mask headphones, and I was like, yep, I'm keeping these. These are great. I slept like a fucking baby last night. It was great.
That's great. All right, well, hang on. So Sleepy's chiming in here. So, I mean, we're pushing over time, but I mean, I'm kind of enjoying this. It's been a while, so.
Yeah,
I mean, do you have shit to do?
I mean, we'd probably have to cool down around 5.
What time do you work tomorrow again?
I work
same as me, right?
9 to 6.
Yeah.
But I'd say we could cool down around 5. That's another hour. If
it gets to it, yeah.
Yeah, if it gets to it. It's almost 4 anyway.
All right, so he says, I'm at the point in my life. By the way, Sleepy, one more time. How old is he again? How old are you again?
I thought he said.
Was he said like 18?
I thought he said 17.
17 or 18. Yeah, didn't he say he's almost 18?
Yeah, I think
he even said it adorably, like, I'm 17 and a half or something like that.
We're like, a half.
Oh, half.
No, I live with my sister so young. She'll be like, it's my half birthday. Like, she went through that phase where I'm like, okay.
You know, I never did that because I always thought it sounded weird. I thought it sounded a little pompous.
I tried it once.
I might have too.
I tried it once, but then I sat there on my half birthday and I go,
who gives a fuck?
I'm thinking to myself, am I really celebrating anything?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not really my birthday.
Because I thought it sounded stupid.
No, I think I did that because it was my 11th birthday and that was my golden birthday. Because your golden birthday is when you're the day that you're born matches. Hold on. The day that you're born.
So 28th.
Yeah, matches the day of the month. Or no, wait, hold on. What? No.
All right, let me just finish reading this while you think about that. He says he's wondering.
Oh no, your age. Okay, it's when your age matches.
So when I was 28, when I turned 28, it was March 28th.
Yeah. So that's your golden birthday. When your age matches the day that you were born.
Okay. Well, at least most people will hopefully hit those numbers.
Unless they have like
you die at like 29 or something, but your birthday's on the 31st. It's like, whoops, okay.
Whoops.
Shouldn't have been doing that meth, you know. All right, so he says, I'm at the point in my life that I'm wondering, WTF do I want to do for work in the future? Because I have no clue. Well, if we have your age right, if that was correct, it's really not uncommon to not know what you... See, I got forced into...
See... he is young. Let's put it that way.
All right, so let's put it this way. For me, in my example, and then Ben can give his example, when I was assuming you're 17, 18, whatever, I had no fucking clue because I'm interested in everything. I mean, I think I've pretty much explained that with just what we talk about in general. And I could never really narrow down what I wanted to do. It really wasn't until... God, Jesus, like 3 weeks ago, when I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to study this and yada, yada. And now I just got to figure out how to do it. And I know when I'm going to start doing it, but I just need to know how to go about it. But anyway, when I was your age, my dad pushed me into electrical engineering because he's an electrical engineer. He's very, very talented in his field. And he knew he'd be able to help me throughout that journey and that I had my brain had an inclination toward mathematics. I didn't like it, but I already had a bunch of courses done in college, so he was like, well, I'll just switch to mathematics, I could still help you, and it's just about the same thing, and you're good at math. And I was like, all right, fuck it, let's just get done with college. You know
when your parents suggest something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then, there's a good fart. Added that fiber to my diet. And then, I then found out that I'm done with this shit. I want to look into communication. It's somewhat easier. And you see, I said easy, but what I really meant was I'm good at it.
You can understand.
I understand. Yeah. Well, no, I'm good at math too. I got lucky. Yeah. I just didn't want to do that shit for my life. You know what I mean?
Because then you're always going to have a calculator with you. You're always going to be,
So I didn't know. I was throwing around for years. I was in college embarrassingly for way too long. I think it was about 8 years, and no matter how you tell the story, no one's gonna believe that it's, oh yeah, my parents influenced me. Well, truly, did I have a say? I don't know, because my dad is a very influential man and a terrifying man, but in a good, he's not like, hurtful or anything.
Right.
He's powerful. He's terrifying in a good way. You want him on your side, but don't piss him off. But so, and I just realized what I really am passionate for, and that's helping people. Whatever. I just figured it out. So, and when did you finally, what do you want to, I don't even know if you want to know what you want to do.
So, my thing was, in high school, when you're senior year, they're like, hey, think about what you want to do, more. Mm-hmm. And so, that's when, you're deciding what college to go to and all that stuff. But I was really thinking about it because at the time I was very interested in forensics. Because I was more tailored towards science. Like, for example, biology class, I just sat there in the class, didn't take any notes. I'd take the test, ace it easily. Like without a thought, I was just really good at biology, and so it wasn't to the point to where you're like in those advanced classes, but it was to the point to where it's like this is easy, for the correct level where you're at. But anyway, I was like, okay, well I want to get into forensics because I was watching murder shows with my mom and learning about forensics and how they break down a crime scene and all that, and I was like, oh yeah, that looks interesting. So I took a forensics class in high school. I was lucky to where I could actually explore this before I went to college. And it turns out I didn't like it because it was a whole monotonous process.
How old were you?
I would have been 18 taking this class.
Okay.
Well, no, I was 17. I turned 18 like the second half of my semester. But this was a one semester class for for just a semester. No, 2 semester actually. Yeah, 2 semesters. So I'm sorry, 1 semester. Yeah, because it was an elective. So I took 1 semester of it, and I was like, I don't want to take the second one because I was just like, no, this is just. I mean, it was interesting to learn. But doing the whole monotonous process, I was just like, I can't do this. No, I need something I can enjoy.
Yeah.
So then in college, I was like, well, I like Apple technology. I thought I liked technology in general, so I wanted to do internet security. Well, that's with PCs and, laptops and all that stuff that I'm not that familiar with. So I was thrown into this class where we're learning about software and hardware, which I kind of knew. But it was like the code.
Windows. It's with Windows instead
stuff.
of yeah.
And so then I realized I was struggling in that class. I had to have people who were next to me who knew what they were talking about do the work. Like we had a group project. I was trying to contribute, but they were so quick at it, they just ended up doing the work and they left. And so I didn't get a chance to learn. And then I was like, I'm really not interested in this. And at that point, I decided personal training for health because I have health issues that I was essentially born with and just didn't find out till I was much older. And
misdiagnosis.
Right, misdiagnosis and that stuff. And I was like, all right, health. Well, I like working out, personal trainer. Well, I took classes in college for that. The only class I'm going to use is the class that was interesting, but still didn't really teach me all about personal training. It was just like anatomy and physiology. But the other class was an actual weightlifting class. That was the only class I would have learned anything from, or learned more, because I still knew quite a bit.
So he actually just pointed out, I think we're overextending our perception of his.
Okay.
He says my first choice for a temporary. I think he's talking about literally. What he wants to do. Well, he says for work in the future, but now he's saying my first choice for a temporary job was fast food work because that's where my mom started out, but everyone says rethink your decision. We all agree.
Okay, I've even worked fast food.
I've done delis, I've done cafes, restaurants.
I did one place. It was McDonald's. The only reason was they were paying higher at that time, higher pay rate. It was comfortable to live with. And so I only did that job for 2 weeks. I could do the job, but the fact that we were just standing there all the time, my knees were hurting, my body was like, no, you can't do this. Like, this is not good for you. And because of that, I had to quit because I was like, and then also the monotony of it where you're running back and forth. Like if I was on the sandwich thing, making sandwiches, you're constantly boom, 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 boom.
So at least you're doing something.
Right. But like I could handle the register or I could handle taking orders.
Sure. Well, what's funny? My brother, so I think his very first job was actually McDonald's. And he survived half of a day. And he got fired simply because he wouldn't listen. And,
Okay.
he's on the spectrum too,
Right.
but he couldn't stand the way things were done, and he wasn't like he was like, good. I'm glad they fired me. That was ridiculous right off the bat,
Okay.
and I'm glad he did because I mean now he works at. You guys don't have Safeway out here, but in the more toward the West Coast. Safeway's like Kroger or Meijer.
Oh
shit
no,
like
my
that.
my stepdad used to drive for Safeway.
Oh, okay.
He drives trucks. Yeah.
Okay, so now he works for Safeway, and he does great at that job, and he's gotten promotions and some things like that, and given more responsibilities, and it's like that's good for him because it keeps him busy. He gets to use
Keeps him
his
motivated.
organizational
Yeah,
skills.
well, it keeps
and,
him
you know,
motivated because then he can apply that in his personal life.
But when it comes to no, you look.
But
The fact
yeah.
that you're saying, Sleepy, that oh my mom started out that way. Your mom had to start out that way and probably work hella hard to do. I don't know what she does now, but
It was her circumstances.
that was not by choice. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
She didn't do that
No
by
one
choice.
here. I'll tell you this: everyone I've known who's worked in fast food,
It's the last resort.
You never choose.
It's a last. That's for
You never choose to be there. You're just there because this is the only job.
look at a McDonald's and tell me who you see working there.
Mostly ex-criminals.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
ex-criminals, delinquents, people that just. I mean, look. Sadly, this is just true, and people will never understand that. You know, it's not a bias,
Right,
but a
it's
fact
just-
that no people with like excessive tattoos and piercings and ridiculous. Your image represents your company. So those people won't get hired for,
Right.
Apple
Because
or
if you worked for someone who sold doors, like if you're in person walking,
if you're in person, and if
with
I'm,
like a
if
forward
I'm,
face,
standing in Verizon Wireless selling you a cell phone with like, a demon face on and those,
Right.
what do you call it? Those implants
horn-
they do? Yeah, the
horns.
implants and the screws and shit.
yeah,
But anyway, my point is, fast food is a last resort. Now, what you need to start... No, sorry. I don't ever want to say you need ever again. I need to work on that.
Yeah.
What I would suggest you start by doing is... Well, first of all, you already understand it's a temporary job. All it matters is you're getting some money.
you need to see what.
So what interests you in the short term? You know what I mean? Would you be good at working at Lowe's or working at... sales at Verizon or working something. Would you be good at tutoring? I did tutoring. I don't know if you'd feel comfortable with
Or
that.
start off with customer service, not fast food, because fast food is.
Yeah, but customer service in that, when he's talking temporary job, you're looking at
Yeah.
like Kroger customer service. You don't want
Yeah.
to deal with that. That shit's
True.
awful.
Kroger would.
I
Kroger's
wouldn't
not
even suggest. I
Eric,
wouldn't even suggest.
I would say this: Kroger is not
Do
even.
not do cashier.
Kroger, the way they treat you is not even worth doing cashier.
Wherever he
there.
lives, I wonder where he lives. By the way.
That they were a wolf in sheep's clothing, basically.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they treated me better than most places, but then eventually, once you're comfortable, then they start, showing their true colors.
So I mean, what would you? I mean, just in general, to people younger these days, what would you? I'm trying to think.
Okay,
like,
so through
brand new job.
Yeah.
Not a. You don't have a
So
you don't even
through-
have a resume yet.
so
You're just.
through so getting,
Make a resume. Start with
Yeah.
that, by the way.
So
Make a resume.
Here's what I did getting my first job. I was lucky. It was after high school before I actually started college, so I could save up, spending money, whatever, for expenses. Anyway, I started out at the movie theater. You know the old Imagine
Ooh,
Theater?
yeah.
Or no, the
I've had
new-
a lot of
okay.
friends start at movie
So-
theaters, and they thought it
So
was
now
fun.
now it's called Imagine, but it used to be called.
I don't know anything about it, but sure, whatever.
But it used to be called Hamilton,
Oh, I do know that one. Never mind.
or what's it? Or no,
The Hamilton Shopping Center, right?
right. But the actual theater is
I
called.
don't know.
It was something IMAX. Anyway, it's this new place is way better where I live, and it's much better to the point where I forget what the other place's name was. But I used to work there. The Hamilton 16 IMAX. That's what it was. Yeah, I worked there when the place used to be called Hamilton 16 IMAX, and
Oh, Cinema 16. You're talking about
Yeah.
Cinema 16.
yeah. So I worked
we
there
have that, yeah.
right outside of high school, and it was good and everything. But it's like they treated you like a fast food job. A fast food job, you have only a 30-minute lunch. That's it. You don't have any other breaks. You're working constantly.
Yeah.
And so at that time, I was still dealing with. At that time when I worked there, I was dealing with diabetes a little bit. Just started, and so some jobs I do where I literally have to stop and eat something, and you'd still have to keep up. But anyway, I never got fired there. It was never a big deal. But that taught me a lot of things about the different job levels there are. Because starting out, you're thinking, oh, I can do this. This is easy. Then you do it, and you're like, I can't do this. I need something more mentally stimulating.
Rather than physically stimulating.
Than physical. Plus, with physical jobs, unless you're doing construction, I
think he'd be better off in a physical environment.
If you're doing construction, you can make a lot of money. Any other physical environment, it's kind of like, It really just depends on what you're...
Yeah, so I would say he brings up a really good point. If you're really just starting and thinking about this, first of all, make a resume. I'll even send you mine through the email, whatever, and you can just
erase. Right now, make a list.
Erase everything. Well, hang on. Erase everything, and you won't have previous job experience most likely. So erase everything and put hobbies and should leave that area. There should be an area on the bottom somewhere that shows like interests, like what I do in my free time. But put them toward your strengths and write it for that position. So, and I don't know. He says I'm not smart enough to be a tutor. Now, that may be true. I hope you're not being too hard on yourself, but that also just kind of tells me you don't want to be a tutor. If that's your first response, it just means, all right, that's off the table. Fine. Okay. So do you want something that does, would you say you're better with computers, better with talking to people in person, or better with physically organizational and physical, let's say, maintenance and what word? Just
maintenance
work,
or construction or just any type of
dude. If he's in good shape and at that age, if he started construction, that's really good money. But I mean, I don't know what the qualifications are for it. But honestly, I think that's a step past.
Most of those jobs, though, for construction, they will actually teach you on the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then because my cousin does it and he makes bank.
For example, when I worked at Target for night shift, the construction company that was there, they would talk to me. They'd be like, "Do you really like working here at Kroger? Do this construction job where
you can come with us,
where we would still pay you, but we would teach you on the job, and then eventually you'd have to get your certification while you're there. But they would pay you while they train you. You'd work on. You wouldn't do important shit, obviously, because you just started, but they teach you slowly how.
You'd probably shadow.
Yeah,
shadowing.
Yeah, there was actually a guy there shadowing them a lot, but they were kind of mean to him a little bit, but also they'd be like. They would just have him go get him shit all the time. He would never actually learn anything.
Well, yeah, that sucks, but whatever. Well, so those are some options. I mean, yeah, it really comes down to, I love my job. I love that I work from home. I love that it's at a computer because this is kind of what I do anyway. I mean, I'm at the point where I really am very physically in shape right now. I'm not building any muscle the way I want to build muscle, but
I'm thinning down. That's what.
Yeah, but my health.
So remember how last time I weighed in, I was at 188. I'm 186 right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I weighed myself last night. I was 178, or 6. I can't remember. But
we're close together in weight. We're just 10 pounds apart, less than 10 pounds.
Yeah, I'm like a foot apart.
I'm saying,
mini man.
I'm saying it's weird how we're less than 10 pounds apart.
Yeah, well, you know what's interesting is I was walking to my bathroom and looking in the mirror and I was like, I just thought about it. I was like, this is really interesting that I am 6'3" and everyone perceives me as so tall because in my perception, you are short.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone is short to me. But then everyone's like, no, you're a giraffe. And it's just weird that my brain, to me, I'm normal.
Right.
And people taller than me are what the fuck.
When people say I'm short, I'm like, I'm taller than the average man.
Yeah, I know. And that's so I keep having to look back and it's like, yeah, it's 5'6" or 8 or something like that. No, I think it's 5'8".
It's 5'6" for the average.
Female,
no,
female's
average male.
Two for female, right?
Yeah, because we looked it up and it's 5'6" for the average male.
Male, female. Height.
And then, it was 5'2" for the average.
Yeah,
female.
5'4" for the average woman, and 5'9" for the average man.
Oh, it's changed a little. Okay.
It has changed a little bit since, because I remember you and I looking at it.
We looked at it a couple months
ago. Yeah.
No, a few months ago. It was at least 3 months ago.
Interesting. Well, yeah, and this is when was this written? Fuck this bitch. This is written in 2018. Whatever.
Okay.
And the point is, I'm tall, and apparently everyone's normal, and I'm not. And it's just weird to see that.
Although
you know what I mean?
there can be a disorder where you have a tumor in your head and then you keep growing, you never stop, and then eventually you grow so thin because you're so tall that you end up like
Collapsing.
No, you end up like crushing your brain. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, so hang on. What does it say? I'm with people. I'm with people. Oh, I'm good with people. Does that count for? No, that's absolutely wonderful. So, I mean, if he's good with people, I mean, now that's a vague statement. You know, I
Right.
don't know what his skills
Are you good enough?
with people.
Are you good enough to handle people who are
I
might
think
be
he should-
angry at you with customer
Yeah,
service?
have you ever...
Yeah,
have you
you
ever...
gotta-
Would it completely disrupt your state of mind if I walked into your store... Because he shouldn't start over the phone.
Right.
He might... Well, he could. That'd be interesting. But if I walked into your store, or called you rather, either way, and let's say I wanted to get, we're going to use Verizon, because wonderful company as far as what they sell you. Horrible infrastructure. Horrible, like environment.
So if you wanted to buy,
But anyway, sorry. I'm having flashbacks here. I call you, and I'm pissed off because you told me, Sleepy, that last month I was not going to get a payment on this phone until next month, but I got a payment this month. I wasn't supposed to pay till next month. Now, you could start and sit there saying, I understand where you come, but what if I just say, no, shut the fuck up and listen to me? What would you do if I said, shut the fuck up and listen to me? But anyway, point is do you have a breaking point where you would get angry and hostile in return? I literally had to witness 2 people get fired at Verizon. One was this dude who you would expect to look like a ginger neckbeard, kind of bigger dude, and he was so angry. I didn't even know who he was the first time. I just saw him getting so mad and frustrated and head down on the table. So I was going on for this is back when we worked at the office. I went off for my break and I just walked by him and I put my arm on his shoulder and I patted him and I said, listen, man, just take a deep breath. It's not personal. They're not even yelling at you. Don't even worry about it. Now, I gave the, I tried to be nice and whatever. I didn't know he was a fucking crazy idiot. So next time I'm in there, he's still sitting behind me. And now he's done talking to someone, yelling at them, done yelling at him, yada, yada. And they end the call. He picks up the keyboard, slams it down, grabs the mouse, even though it's attached to the computer, plugged in. He tries to throw it. It doesn't really go anywhere. It just kind of like, you know what I mean? It kind of like slingshots like back around, but it goes over the cubicle, and now it's hanging in this poor other person's yeah. And so that dude got fired because he could not handle that shit. And then this other woman who I was actually in training with, dude, we knew she was going to get fired the day we met her. She was a hothead. She ended up calling a woman a bitch on the phone and said, fuck you. Fired. Now, no, that's good. He says, I hardly get angry. Frustrated, yes, angry, no. That's good. That's fine. Yeah, that's fair. That's kind of where I'm at. Other than Doug. But yeah, so now, I don't know if I would suggest, like, telemarketing first or actual I would say in person because he gets both the sales talking and the in person. Let me know how to communicate with this person.
I would do in person for like at least a year or so.
He could do sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he gets, dude, that's good money if he's good at it.
Especially if you were a pharmaceutical rep. I mean, come on.
No, that would be more like after college sales.
Right.
But
yeah, true.
No, but like right out of like high school, like he could literally walk into a Verizon store or anywhere.
What my brother did was he mows lawns.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, I figured you would.
He was so good at it and so dedicated to even just mowing lawns that he'd get like 5 or 6 people in a week, and he would just mow like 1 or 2 yards a day, and then it grew to like 2 or 3 yards a day, and he's raking in up to $40 a yard. Untaxed, under the table money. Sometimes he'd make 60 to 80 if they were nice enough, because he would do a good job and do a lot. And he was making so much money, he saved half of it, was able to buy his own TV at like.
So real quick. The point is you have options. That's for sure. So he says, I would tell you to let me talk to someone higher up than me, and let's find a solution to this problem. So actually, if you're on the phone and someone starts swearing at you. If they're just like, this fucking thing, it's like, all right, whatever. As long as it's not offensive to you, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. People swear. But if they're swearing at you, you have every right in any job to simply say, sir, ma'am, I am more than happy to get this resolved, but if you continue speaking to me this way, I will have to end this call. And so I always end it with, can we, I am here to help you. I am here to do you a service, so let me help you. And then all of a sudden, typically, they end up realizing they do not have control and they do need to calm down. And then that usually,
there was one guy yelling at us for like calling him too much or whatever, but he was like cussing, and all
sometimes
that stuff.
you just gotta remind them that, excuse me, you called me, you want something from me, let me help you.
I told him, I said, look, you this is exactly what I said. I said, you called me, and it sounds like you're having issues with,
blank, blank, blank.
With us.
Blank, blank, blank. Yeah,
and
sure.
And so he was like, okay. He's like, yes. And he immediately calmed down, and I said, look, I can help you with this. I just need some information.
There you go, yeah. And eventually, yeah.
So I can process this paperwork.
And you know what you do, too? You repeat to them what the problem was, because... And they'll tell you that in any job when it comes to sales or customer service. You repeat to them that you... Because then they immediately are like, holy shit, this guy is listening to me.
And I've even had people where they, at the end of the conversation, I had this one guy. He even tried to...
Apologize?
He apologized to me before I even heard him when I was trying to get the information. And then at the very end, he made sure... He goes, look... He goes, yes, I've been yelling at a lot of people today. And he goes, I apologize for yelling at you. I didn't mean to escalate the situation. And he goes, I appreciate the fact that you actually helped me.
Yeah. So same with me is because they don't realize. So to me, I see it as this, and this might be the narcissistic or maybe ego, but they are lucky when they get me on the phone. Because I give a shit, and I will go out of my way.
I've noticed when they say, I've told multiple people to do this for me, and we're required to do it.
And I say, Stan, I said, I might, no, this is the story I was going to tell, actually. It's the same thing. I've had multiple people tell me this, and all they do is bounce me around back and forth. It was a woman. And I said, ma'am, I know that they've already filled out this form for you. But here's the thing, or told you they filled the form out for you.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm going to do. I'm not letting you go until I actually fill this out. I get every detail you want me to put in the notes. I will even then reach out to all of our coaches who are online right now to make an urgent note about this, and I will make sure that you are called. And dude, she was just silent, and then all of a sudden she goes, well, yeah, that would be great. And all of a sudden, and then at the end of the call, she was like, honey, I'm so sorry. And I said, stop. You do not need to apologize. Yeah. This shouldn't have happened in the first place. If something is wrong now, then, I don't know what to do. But I said, this should solve the problem. I hit it on all facets. And she goes,
that's what I did.
Yeah. And she goes, well, thank you so much. I was like, you are very welcome. Because it makes me feel good that I made them feel good. And then
because it's a bad situation with the company, and you just made it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You took the time.
This motherfucker went the extra mile.
Instead of trying to cut them off and going back to what you normally do, which is you want the sale, you went in for let me help you.
It's as simple as if you want to maintain a family, everyone in the family has to be at least a little bit happy. There will be disruption and dysfunction, but everyone's got to be satisfied to be in that family.
Like that one guy who was constantly sending messages out that was like annoying, and he'd be like, oh, you're in this status, don't be in this status. Or,
oh, goodness. Well, he got a promotion, so remember I told you he was probably doing it because he was aiming higher, and he got it, and I actually sent him a message one-on-one, and I said, I see now why you were working so hard, and it looks like it paid off. Congratulations. And he was like, thank you. But, you notice that he's even simmered down because he got it, man. He nailed it.
Even my coach, like, out of my group that I'm in, my coach is always, she's like, you have improved so much from where you started. She was, like, amazed.
Yeah. No, we both have, man.
But no, she was just stunned because she was like, yeah, you're actually trying. I can see it. And I go, I'm just motivated by the money. And she goes, yeah, that's
honestly,
perfect.
Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, of course, I love helping people, so it motivates me to enjoy my job.
And then what she did was she even put out a proposal to us. for like, she'd be like, oh, if you get this many, I'll send you like $1 or something. Or like a little bit of money, to try to get us motivated to get those things we need. And I was
That's
just
funny.
like, I was like, I don't need that. I'll just do it anyway. But
Yeah, exactly, right? Like,
yeah.
like honestly, I legitimately could have waited 3 minutes in between every call on Friday and not given a shit. I still got more than the required calls in.
Well, I made a lot of appointments.
Because I gave a fuck, dude. I give a shit,
and
man.
I think part of them were from last week that I set this week.
I know, I had some that slipped in from last week.
Because it was 36, and I was like, wait, I only got 10 this day.
Yeah, so it doesn't add your sets? Yeah, it does count. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so...
It counts for everything that's scheduled for that day, that week.
Hold on, so I'm curious if Sleepy fell asleep, or if he still has some more to add to this. So, I mean, after hearing all this, I mean, do you have any thoughts about, like, what you would... I mean, we've kind of thrown out quite a bit, but, yeah, first of all, where do you live? How old are you? What physical fitness are you? I mean, are you skinny? Are you fat? Are you tall? Are you short? Are you attractive? I mean, sales, it matters. You know, is he a good-looking guy? Is he an ugly-ass motherfucker like Sluggish Doug? You know, I mean, like, Sluggy Dougie, but, this all matters. I mean, or does he look like his picture, which is a anime vagina? What the hell is that? I can't see it. It's too tiny. Oh, I think it's an anime girl.
Oh, gosh.
It looks like Evangelion, that chick from Evangelion. Dude, I used to be in the anime club when I was in high school. I used to be way into it. I don't understand the adult... You want to wrap it up? That's fine. I don't understand the adult culture with anime. It's kind of like something... just like cartoons in general. I found it funny that M still is obsessed with cartoons.
I tried watching anime.
Not funny, interesting.
Some of the content is good, but then it's like, at the same time, you're just like, what?
It's like watching an animated soap opera, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm done. But anyway, so... it looks like we're going to wrap it up. It's been a 2-hour and 20-minute podcast. This has been Thought Bubble Podcast with us. That's thoughtbubblepodcast at gmail.com, with us at gmail.com, 925-305-6252. And, yeah, anything you want to sign off with? How about this? Wait, what is it? Smash it, grab it, slash it?
Smash it till you reload.
How about,
smash it till you blast it.
Wait, what if it were Dougie? If you find Sluggy Dougie, smash it, slash it, bash it, crash into it, kill it. Yeah. And stomp on it.
Nip it in the butt.
Nip it in the bud. Jesus. And the butt, sure. I mean, for a human, would that be considered a bud? Like the bud of a flower, you know, like the butt?
Just say nip it in the butt.
All right, fine. Nip it in the butt. Nip it in the butt if you find Sluggy Dougie.
And this is the producer and Anthony signing off.
Just Anthony. Just Anthony. It's the producer.